This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
What's going on, freaks? Alright. How's it going? Been doing these long days for this Letitia Stout trial. Kind of hoping that the evening show is the same as it always was, though. So to make it worth doing the other shows at the same time. I mean, that's like a 9-hour show over there. And, you know, the... I mean, that trial is absolutely ridiculous at this point. I mean, the witness that came in for Letitia, just like I was saying, it's going to be crazy when they come in. Absolutely not a believable person. But the thing is when I do those 8-hour shows, I'm just telling you the factual information. The revenue that comes in for those is equivalent to what I used to do on the 3-hour shows. But lately, when I've been doing the 3-hour shows, after doing that one, it's half here of what it used to be. So how do we work around that? I don't really know how to fix that. It's like a conundrum. I hope I'm not now required to do 11-hour days just to get back to where we were before. That'd be crazy, don't you think? What do you guys think about that? Yeah, she's a hired person who made a mockery of the entire psychological industry, which I think is sort of, in general, sort of a weird, place. Anybody have an answer for what I was saying a second ago, though? I didn't see any replies. Yeah, except I don't want to be saddled into having to do 11-hour shows a day for the same, like I already did 8 hours I try to put stuff together to do the shows on cases. Right? So it's kind of, I don't really know where to go with that. I don't want people to get sort of like used to, oh, well, he's doing these 8-hour shows. For these 3-hour ones, forget it. The 3-hour ones take way more time, like I'm playing the trials for you guys and trying to give you better looks than other people and better audio, that kind of thing. Today sucked, but I did think, oh, let me restart it, and there was some audio there. So hey, thanks Annabelle Stell. Well, it doesn't look like anybody has any advice. Alright, great. I'm not even doing highlights. What I'm saying is I'm playing the trial all the way through, and then I have this other show, my normal show that I've always done in the evenings. Okay? And I think everybody's sort of used to the taco stomp thing, it's cool on the trial there, but, Thanks, Annie later hair down D. I got to make something cooler, a better thing at a higher number. I'm feeling better now. My nose is just still dripping. But I think my voice is a little bit better now than it was. And tested negative for the first time in like 3.5 weeks, which is good. Well, I guess it was the 13th. Then after 5 days, I was negative for 2 days, but it wasn't really. And then since then, it's been, tested too many times, but I don't care. If I want to test, I want to test if I feel like it. I really don't give a shit. I just want to know where I'm at, So, yeah, it's like it slowly got lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter and lighter, and then boom, it's gone. Yeah, today was fun over there, Yeah, I mean, all the days have been pretty fun. I mean, we, hanging out. I mean, people have a good time, it seems like, right? Thank you, Cali Gal 3. So we got some interesting things to go over tonight. There's been this homicide in Arizona of this woman who's basically worked at a golf course and did the carts. You can make a ton of money, by the way, driving around the food carts. If you have a high-end golf course, you can make tons and tons of money in tips, probably more than you can make it at just a regular job. So, Chewbacca?
Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
So let's just, we'll get started with that one. Her name is, I think it's Lauren, might be Heike. They're going to pronounce it in this. We have a press conference here for it. And then after that, I'll play the Ian Pawlowski testimony. It's only like 16 minutes long because I shortened it. It wasn't very long anyways, but it's just a cross-examination of Ian Pawlowski at the Daybell. And then we'll move on to the East Haven, Hartford, John Doe case that was solved. Go through that because here's the thing. On Friday at 5:30, Dr. Colleen Fitzpatrick, the lead detective, and the sister of the person identified, it's a homicide victim. Now they're looking for how she died. They're coming onto the show, so that should be pretty cool. Hey, thanks, Cali Gal 3. Very kind, very kind. You know what I always look for in the membership, when people give out memberships? If, like, anybody gets it that's been a troll that left the channel, but they're just sort of hate watching in the background. It's always fun. But welcome to
God bless the beer card.
Moonshadow, Stella, Terry Bolton, Holly Jalapeno Pepper. Oh, I get it. Get it? Jalapeno Pepper. And Miss B. Haven. Actually, the Jalapeno Pepper one deserved the... Yep. Okay. Let's switch it over. Let me get this background music playing a little bit. Thanks, Danielle Burrell. Homeless lady. No, I don't have any news on that. I didn't look. Phoenix police have identified a woman's body found in the desert. Let me get to the screen before people go, Gray, we can't see. Phoenix police have identified a woman's body found in the desert over the weekend and have launched a homicide investigation into her death. On Saturday around 10:30 a.m., officers were called about an injured person in the desert near Libby Street and Mayo Boulevard. So let's get that in there. I remember that's where those 3 children were murdered a long time ago. Or not murdered, those 3 babies that all died on the same morning in the same city there. Okay, so they're saying, based on that image, it's like right over here in this area. second. We got a press conference here in a second. I just want to get this in here and then put the pin. This might not be right, but this is where I have it. And then it says, police are investigating Heike. So her name is, hold on a second. Yeah, it's Libby Street, just south loop of 101. Police identified the woman as 29-year-old Lauren Heike, or Hike, I don't know, I think it might be Heike. And she died at the scene. Police say she had trauma to her body. Police are investigating Heike's death as a homicide. Details on what led to her death are under investigation, and a suspect is still on the loose. Anyone with information can contact the Phoenix Police Department or Silent Witness at 480-WITNESS or 480-TEST-IGO for Spanish. Okay, so we got that. Now that's when there was a body, and then she was identified. And then today, here's the suspect, they believe, is this person right here. Watch. So it's hard to tell, I mean, what nationality, or, because it's just really a lot of contrast going on in there. Could be Hispanic, could be black, could be white even, I guess, depending on how you adjust the contrast on here. Yeah. Okay, so let's play the press conference here. So I am using Adobe Premiere again, and who knows, man, if it just shuts down. If it does, we'll be back on in 3 or 4 minutes.
Are you guys ready? First, thank you all for being here. I'll start with just my name spelling. It's Melissa Solis, Melissa Soliz, Sergeant with the Phoenix Police Public Affairs Bureau.
And the link's in the description if you want to watch it again.
So first, I'd like to offer my deepest condolences to the family and friends of Lauren Heike. Thank you all for being here.
That is Heike.
We are here today for an incident that occurred on Saturday, April 29th, when police were alerted to the area of 65th Street and Mayo Boulevard.
I don't know if it's really that fast because it's 6 seconds long. It's just there isn't a lot of frames, and he didn't travel a lot of distance. Looks more like a jog.
In that area, that's when Lauren Heike was found deceased. I'd like to thank members of the media for sharing and running with this story. I know as we've been given updates, you guys have been providing those to the community, so thank you for that. Thank you also to the community for calling in Silent Witness and the police whenever any information is, whenever they see something or they want to give detectives additional information on the case. We appreciate it, and this continues to be an ongoing investigation.
Well,
Today here we have the family right to my...
He's only on the screen for about 4 seconds, but that distance isn't very far to go in 4 seconds.
My left we have mother of Lauren Heike, Lana Heike, father Jeff, and a really good friend River. The three sitting down here to my left will be speaking later at this event, and behind them are close family members and friends. We also have Lieutenant James Hester with our homicide unit that will be able to provide some facts of the case and take some questions afterwards. After he's finished speaking, we'll open it up to the family. At the end of this, if any of the family members or friends feel comfortable, they will be able to provide one-on-one interviews if any of you would like to hang back.
Thank you, Melissa. Hello, everybody. I'm James Hester. I'm the homicide lieutenant for the Phoenix Police Department. The vicious attack on Miss Lauren Heike is unconscionable, and the grief and heartache being felt by her friends and family is immeasurable. No one in our community should feel unsafe, including while enjoying a spring moment in Phoenix, hiking one of the many trails that we have across the valley. For that, we grieve with you, and I'm very sorry for your loss. The community has come together behind Lauren, providing us with helpful tips and video evidence. And for that, we're grateful, but we're here to ask for more. We lean on our community to help us bring justice to all of our victims, including Lauren. And today is going to be no exception. Last Friday, at about 10 in the morning, Lauren was hiking on a trail in the area of 65th Street and Libby Lane in North Phoenix. Lauren was attacked from behind and died as a result of her injuries. We have released a brief video clip and a still image from one of the cameras. We are looking for a male between 5'8" and 6 foot tall, wearing dark clothing and a backpack. We believe someone would have noticed this person either before the attack or after he fled from our scene. We ask anyone with any information to contact Silent Witness at 480-WITNESS or for Spanish language, 480-TESTIGO. We will exhaust every resource to bring justice to Lauren and her family. We just ask for any measure of assistance that we can get from the community. Please pray for Lauren and her family. Thank you, and I can take any questions you have.
You mentioned it Friday morning. She was found Saturday.
Yes. She was in a location where she wasn't easily viewable by those that utilized the trail. So we are confident that.
So she went missing Friday morning, and they didn't find her till Saturday morning.
The attack happened Friday morning.
You mentioned she was attacked from behind. Was a weapon used?
So there's details that are known only to the
While I was recording, somebody became a channel member.
suspect at this time, and we're keeping those details
Subscribe.
close to the chest, so we don't harm the investigation. That's one of the details we're keeping close.
Is there a threat to the community at this time?
I can never say that there's no threat to the community. I do believe this is an incident that warrants introspection from anybody that's going to be out. There's never any reason for everybody in the community to feel completely unsafe. However, if it was me and my family, I would be taking precautions just to be sure. I don't want to cause a panic, but I think a measure of safety can be implemented by everybody.
I just want to make sure that we're clear. This person that from the video, you believe he's the suspect?
Yes.
Do you believe that Lauren knew the suspect?
Again, there's details. We're hunting down all leads. We will not disregard any information or any possibilities. We're not willing to say that right now, but as soon as we can and provide more information, we will.
Did Lauren live around the area? Were you able to provide the context of why she was hiking in that area that morning?
Yes, she lived in the area.
Is this a trail that she had frequented before?
There's, again, information that I don't want to release in case it's relevant to our suspect search.
Are you able to say what time that attack happened Friday morning?
Yes, between 10 and 11 a.m.
And the video that you released, what time was that video of the person crossing that area, your person of interest?
I don't have the exact time, but what I can do is, at the conclusion of this, I can get that exact timestamp for you if you need it.
Was it Friday as well?
It was.
Are you looking for any other suspects tied to this?
So we believe that the person in the video is our suspect. However, for us, it would be naive of us to say that there was no chance of anybody else being involved. So we are looking for any information that may lead us to this suspect or additional suspects.
Is there any indication that the suspect has done something like this before?
Nothing that I'd be willing to talk about right now.
You say she wasn't easily visible from the trail. Did the attack occur on the trail?
I believe that the initial attack occurred on the trail, yes.
In that case, did the suspect move her body?
I'm not willing to go into that, I'm sorry.
Who found her?
It was a caller. It is a neighborhood with homes in the area, and someone noticed something that appeared out of place and investigated.
Have you investigated any other attacks or bodies found in this general vicinity in the last, say, 24 months?
I'm unaware of any, but that is one of the avenues our investigators are looking for any suspicious persons, any unresolved violent acts. That's part of our investigative process.
Was anything taken from her person, her phone, jewelry, anything like that?
I apologize, but I'm not willing to divulge a lot of the information as it could be relevant to our case right now.
Are you able to say, I apologize if this is difficult, are there any indications that she fought the suspect?
Again, if there's information that only a suspect would know, I have to steer clear of it so we don't harm the investigation, so I just can't answer that right now. But once we get more information, we're able to share it with you, we will.
Obviously, your detectives have spent, and you for sure, have spent a great deal of time on this. Can you speak about, I mean, the people who maybe know something, maybe saw something, what would you want them to know? I mean, this is obviously something you guys have invested a lot of time and resources to someone's life, her family and friends, obviously grieving.
Thank you. Thanks for that question. So this trail is utilized by the community. There's a lot of folks that use that. They ride horses. There's evidence of off-road vehicles. There's lots of people that utilize this space. I believe that our suspect would have stood out to somebody. Whether or not they understood why, this subject would have stood out. I'm asking for anybody that saw something that just didn't look right the day of the incident, or even hours before, hours later, or even the days after or days before, to just come forward, either through silent witness or contacting Crime Stop.
Stood out why? How he was dressed, long sleeve, backpack, on a hiking trail?
The behavior, in my opinion, was so heinous that I would imagine that the subject would be displaying behavior symptoms that just would look out of place.
Are you able to say if the intent of the attack was?
I can't say. I'm sorry. Thank you very much.
Okay, at this time, we'll go ahead and leave it open to the family. Again, we have mother and father of Lauren Heike and a really good friend, River.
Do you want to say something, honey?
You can say something, man.
What a nightmare for them, jeez.
We just want, of course, we want the public to think about this. We want somebody to come forward and help us find this person. Lauren was, obviously she was beautiful, and she was beautiful inside and out. She had such a kind heart. Everybody who met her loved her. She was super funny. She was just a sweet child, just everything to us.
Must have been earlier.
They are always your babies, but even her, she just was. But she lived here, and she had, you know.
So it's weird, all those little Streamlabs things play on this machine, over here. So while I was recording this and over there streaming, it still records some of that audio. It sucks, but I can probably turn it off.
Hadn't lived in that apartment too long, but she loved
Didn't
it.
think of it, though.
She loved this area. She had so many friends, and she was always happy. She would call. We don't live. We are out of town, and I talked to her every single day, at least once or twice a day, and texted. And every phone call ended with "I love you, Mom," and every text ended that way. Is horrific. I'm sorry. As hard as this is for us, we're grateful because we had such a beautiful child. We feel like we're grateful she had beautiful friends. We have been bombarded. Everybody who has ever met her says she was so sweet and so kind and so loving, and they loved her. And we take a lot of comfort in that. We know that person, and we're grateful for all the people who have reached out. And we're happy that her last moments, she loved to exercise. She was walking, and we know she was happy. She went out that morning on a beautiful day to do what she does every day. And And we just want the world to know what a sweet person she was and what she meant to us and to our family and what a void it leaves for us. But we also know that this dark period, we'll have her memories and we will love her every minute that we are on this earth.
Yeah.
You know?
She was my little girl. I'm going to miss her terribly.
It's okay, honey.
I just hope they can find whoever did this to her.
We really, really are begging people
Please,
to come
if
forward.
you know something, come forward.
If you know something,
out.
if you have seen something unusual, somebody wearing a backpack or a hoodie or whatever the video, it's hard to tell, in a sunny, hot day, that person will stand out. And when you've done something, you are going to be unusual. If you think it might be something, if you have an inkling, please contact the police. We're praying that all of you people will help us.
I know someone knows something that can help us.
We want her to just be remembered, and we want people to help and just know she's so beautiful and sweet and very sweet. Like, we did worry because she was so nice to everybody. If she was in the store, I would always say to her, Lauren, you can't trust everybody.
Yeah.
But she was that kind of person, and we wouldn't train that personality for anything because that's the person we love. So, Riv?
Yeah, no, she just, she definitely had the ability to change anybody's life. No matter what they were going through, if you interacted with Lauren, she was just an amazing individual. And I just want everyone to dig as deep as you can to find anything or any type of information that just leads to finding out who did this to her, because
Thank you.
I mean, she woke up that day just so happy, and we just can't imagine what could have happened to her. So it's just, please, like, dig deep as you can.
I just want to say that River and Chloe and Lauren were like 3 amigos. They talked every single day for hours. And if anyone, I know she loves you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
We just need help finding whoever did this.
Yeah, it's such a helpless, shitty feeling.
I know you might see, Lauren, this photo here and videos. The one thing that we ask the public to see is that this isn't just another girl. We all have people in our lives. This is somebody's daughter. This is somebody's sister. This is somebody's niece. This is somebody's granddaughter. This is somebody's best friend. This is a true person. This is somebody that we all have that special somebody in our lives. And Lauren was that person to so many people. So we ask you, if you know something, if you know this person, you've seen this person, even though if this person is involved in your circle, we ask, what would you do if this was your little sister? If this was your daughter? If this was your niece? We just ask and plead that you would find it in your heart to make that call and to tell us what you do know, or tell.
Yeah, but anyways, that's kind of where I cut it off. So, now here's this video again. What do you guys think nationality or race or whatever that person is? It's hard to tell with how it's so there's so many shadows and everything, but I mean, I don't know if that would help. I don't know if they're coming out with that information themselves, and it seems like that would be pretty helpful, don't you think? But anyways, that's what I was gonna. That's what I was thinking, Paulette. But if I can't tell 100% because of the shadows. Yeah, that's what it seems like. It's not impossible to tell. I mean, you can. Right.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, can you play it again?
Okay, well, that's where we're at with that case, so hopefully they can get something out of that video and know who it is. If you go to her Facebook page, you know, there's friends and so forth on there. It's hard to know who is which. But okay, so now we're going to switch over and play in the Daybell case the Ian Pawlowski. It's only 16 minutes long audio, but he's somebody that I'm interested in hearing. Yeah. Is there something else going on right at this moment? It's so deflating to get together a show. And, you know, like during the show today, I kept putting it together. And then when you do the show, there's like 200 and something people watching. And you would just wonder if there's something else. That's a long ways, Plato. That's not relevant. Come on. Yeah, that was an interesting case, but I mean, yeah, like that's not. There's no relationship to this and Daniel Robinson's case. Right. Yeah, that's a long drive. That's like 60 miles away. It's, yeah. Let's not do that association. Wow, man, I live an hour away. It's incredible. Let's see. Oh, yeah, let's play. Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. Bailiff. Please be seated.
So this is Ian Pawlowski, the husband of Melanie, the niece of Lori, and Ian's the one that sort of broke the information on all the levels of dark and the zombies and all that shit.
Okay, we're on the record. CR 22211624, State of Idaho versus Lori Noreen Vallow. The witness on the stand at this time has previously been sworn. Before we begin with his testimony before the jury.
An hour drive is far, and it's not associated with this case whatsoever, is what I'm trying to tell you, Plato. I mean, what would make you throw out, hey, Daniel Robinson's case is only an hour away from here? I mean, this is a murder of a female, and it's just unrelated. It's absolutely, there's nothing similar about it or anything, you know?
Let me just indicate,
That's what I
Mr.
was
Pawlowski,
wondering.
if you'd kind of make sure to sit forward and talk directly into that microphone. It'll help keep the record clear. Also, please answer verbally any questions asked, and try not to talk at the same time as anyone questioning you, so we keep a clear record. With that, the state can commence with the direct examination.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Wherever you are.
Would you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
Yes, Ian Pawlowski, Pawlowski.
Do you know Lori Vallow or Lori Daybell?
Yes.
How do you know her?
We met briefly right after I began dating my wife, Melanie Pawlowski.
And do you know how Melanie is related to Lori?
Melanie is her niece.
Do you recall approximately the first time you met Lori Vallow?
I want to say it was between November 20th and November 25th. It was right before we went down for Thanksgiving in 2019.
And when you say when we went down for Thanksgiving, who is the we you're referencing?
So I traveled down, and then Melanie came and met me later.
And that would be Melanie, that is now your wife?
Correct.
So Lori did not travel down there?
No.
And when you say down there, where were you going?
Arizona.
When you met Lori, was that a face-to-face visit?
First time, yes.
Do you recall approximately, or actually let me back up, do you know an individual named Chad Daybell?
Yes.
And do you know who he is?
He is married to Lori.
Do you recall meeting him?
Yes.
And when was that?
It was the same time I met Lori.
Did you meet him in person?
Yes.
Were they together when you met them?
Yes.
Do you recall where you met them as far as the location?
Yes. That was at the apartment just next to Melanie's.
When you met them, did you have any substantive discussions the first time?
No.
Did you come to know or learn of the relationship Melanie had with Lori and Chad?
Yes.
And what kind of relationship was that?
It was a very close, supportive relationship.
Was it so close that, in fact, you went to Lori and Chad first before asking Melanie to marry you?
Yes.
Do you recall approximately how many times you either saw in person or spoke with Lori?
It was less than a dozen.
And how about with Chad?
Fewer.
Did you have any conversations with Chad when Lori wasn't present?
Not that I recall.
Did you have some conversations with Lori when Chad was not there?
Yes.
At some point in those conversations, did Lori talk to you about her purported beliefs?
Yes.
What were some of the beliefs that she talked about?
I'm going to object this is vague. I will sustain that. It's just a question about beliefs in general.
In talking about beliefs, specifically, did she talk to you about purported religious beliefs?
Yes.
And referencing those religious beliefs, what were some of the things she told you?
She discussed, there were beliefs about possession. There were beliefs about locking Satan away. Those are the two that stand out the most.
And with those references, did you ever hear her use the term casting or casting out?
Yes.
And when these conversations took place, were there other people present?
Yes.
At times, did that include Melanie?
Yes.
Was Melanie present for the majority of the conversations?
All of them.
Did you ever hear Chad talk about those same terms?
He was present. I don't specifically recall if he stated anything. Lori typically did most of the talking, but Chad was typically there and acted as a support to what Lori was saying.
Do you recall her ever talking to you about multiple probations or multiple creations?
I don't recall anything specifically about that from her, no.
And you talked about you and Melanie had headed down to Arizona. Was that for Thanksgiving of 2019?
Yes.
At some point, did the two of you return to Rexburg?
Yes.
When you returned to Rexburg, do you recall if Chad and Lori were still there?
They were not.
Do you know where they were?
No.
Had you ever been to the apartment that Lori resided at in Rexburg?
Prior to that, no.
Had you gone to her apartment when you first met her?
Yes.
And Chad was present in the apartment?
Correct.
Do you know if he was residing there with her?
I don't.
Did you see when you met her, did you ever see JJ Vallow?
No.
Did you ever see Tylee Ryan?
No.
Did you know of their existence when you first met Lori and Chad?
Yes.
Did Lori ever say anything to you about where they were?
No.
Did you see any indication that there were children living in the apartment?
Yes.
And what indications did you see?
I saw backpacks that looked like they were for children, luggage that looked like, they were designed for kids.
Did you ever look at any bedrooms in that residence?
Yes.
And did you see signs of children there?
No.
And when you had conversations with Chad and Lori, did you ever hear Tylee or JJ in the background?
No.
Was there ever mention of Tylee and JJ in your conversations with Lori?
Not that I recall.
When Lori talked to you about these things, were you open to hearing them?
Yes.
And why was that?
I'm religious. I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and a large part of our belief is faith in revelation, and that the church is a living thing. It's not done progressing. It's not done growing. And so part of that is, you have to maintain an open mind when new things come. So if I was going to learn something new, it would either be through one of the Lord's servants, or I'd receive the revelation directly. So that and at that point in my life, I was kind of going through a religious renaissance of my own. I was trying to, I had just gone through a rough divorce, and I was trying to rebuild myself. So I was open. Does that answer your question?
Yes, I think so. And about how long did it take for you to determine that you were not open to the ideas being presented by Ms. Vallow?
A few days.
And were there some specific things she was telling you that made it so you were no longer open to what she was talking about?
Yes.
And what were those things?
So one of those things was the possession. The people who she was saying were possessed was one of them. The rankings that were being given, people being determined as light and dark, was alarming. That sounded to me like something that could not change. It was a predetermined thing. Talking about light and dark contracts that were signed before this life. I know there were a few others, but they don't come to my mind right now.
When you talk about the light and dark, who is it that was telling you about the light and dark ranking system?
So the first time I heard about that, I want to say it was Melanie that explained it to me, as she had heard it from Chad. That was the first time.
At some point, did Lori talk to you about the light and dark system?
It was referred to in conversations, but never directly explained.
And you talked about some of the people some of the people Lori was saying were possessed. Do you recall who some of those individuals were?
Law enforcement.
Did you ever hear her use the term zombies?
Yes.
Was that also in reference to some law enforcement?
Yes.
Were there specific officers that she referenced?
Yes.
Who were they, if you can remember?
Detective Hermosillo and I believe Detective Hope, if I recall correctly.
And do you know if they work with the Rexburg Police Department?
They do.
At some point, so you were no longer open to the beliefs or the religious beliefs that she was purporting to have at that point.
Right.
At some point, did something cause you concern?
There were numerous things. The point where it really turned for me was the morning after my marriage to Melanie. Melanie had dumped her fears on me. Just everything that she'd been experiencing, there's just a whirlwind there's a mess going on. And she shared everything that she thought and worried about with me. And so the morning following that, we were staying at the Bellagio in Las Vegas, and my two children, Max and Lily, were with me at the time. The next morning I got up and my daughter was gone. We couldn't find her anywhere. She was gone for about 15 minutes. We looked all over the room for her. We're calling for her. Not a sound. She was nowhere. And then finally I hear some giggling from behind a curtain, and I can see her feet underneath, and she comes out. She thought it was the funniest thing in the world. But for me, after hearing everything that I had the night before, that was terrifying. And at that point I decided I'm not going to give this a chance. I'm not going to mess with it. Something needs to happen.
And were some of the things you heard regarding Tylee Ryan and J.J. Vallow?
Yes.
Did you have concerns for their safety or their well-being after what you learned?
Yes.
Did some of the things deal with an attempted shooting of Brandon Boudreaux?
Yes.
Did you have concerns about you and or your ex-wife's safety based on some of that information?
Yes.
And because of that, did you end up going to law enforcement?
Yes.
Do you recall approximately when you met with law enforcement?
I want to say it was December 5th or 6th I met with them.
And that would have been of 2019?
Correct.
And when did you say, and I may not have asked you, but when did you get married to Melanie?
It was November 30th, 2019.
So less than a week later, you were at law enforcement?
Correct.
Did law enforcement end up asking for your assistance?
Yes.
And what did they ask for your assistance with?
They asked me to just listen and observe and report back, and they also asked me to make recordings for them.
And did they instruct you to make sure that you were present and party to any conversations you were recording?
Yes.
Did you in fact do that?
Yes.
Did you produce the recordings to the police department?
Yes.
In those recordings, did Chad ever confess directly to a crime?
No.
Did Lori ever confess directly to any crime?
No.
Do some of those recordings contain some of the information you've provided here today regarding the religious beliefs Lori purported to have? Did Lori or Chad ever instruct you regarding whether or not to cooperate with law enforcement?
Yes.
And what were you instructed?
To cooperate as little as possible to avoid them. There was just kind of this arrogant, flippant attitude toward law enforcement. That, that was just none of their business, and we needed to get out of town was another thing they instructed us to do.
And did those instructions come from both Chad and Lori?
It was mostly Chad pushing us to get out of town. Both Chad had a more serious tone. Lori was kind of presented this lighthearted attitude toward cooperating with law enforcement, just to kind of avoid it.
And was part of that telling you that some of the law enforcement officers were dark spirits or zombies?
Yes.
Just one moment.
Thank you, Lisa Valenzuela. Oh, and Ashley Snow.
And you indicated that your wife Melanie was present for these conversations as well?
Correct.
And would it be fair to say that Melanie looked to Chad and Lori as a mother and father figure?
Yes.
Do you believe that she was susceptible to what they were telling her?
Yes.
Did she at times indicate to you, or did you believe that she shared some of, or was open to these religious beliefs that they were purporting to have?
She was open to them. The way she presented them to me is, hey, this is what they're saying. What do you think?
And would you say out of the two of them, Melanie was closer to either Lori or Chad?
Absolutely closer to Lori.
I have no further questions.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Blake. So who will be doing cross?
I'll be doing the cross, but given the fact that the state has referenced some wire or recordings, we were planning on hearing those, and we're not really prepared to offer those up. That's going to be a big part of my cross-examination, so I'm just wondering if the court's willing to break a few minutes early today so that we can get that on.
Yeah, so that'll be that'll be interesting, because I think that's tomorrow. So we'll hear get the cross-examination, and we'll get to hear those crazy tapes that he did with the FBI. You know what I'm saying? So that should be pretty good.
To a drive so that he can testify as to that.
And Your Honor, can we have a brief sidebar?
Yes.
So anyways, I'll get those tomorrow so we can play those, but let's see. So that was it for that one, and then we'll go to the East Haven Doe case. Why not, Zozo? Thanks for letting everybody know that you didn't listen to any of it. Anyways, so the thing is, on this channel, everybody, you guys are the sole source of the income for every show that I do. So if you'd like to help support the channel, that'd be awesome. But yeah, the interview I thought that was pretty interesting right there, because it went back through the same stuff that's on the jeez. Well, why show up then, Plato? I mean, you know what I mean? It's just you guys are crazy people. Hey everybody, I didn't listen to a damn thing Gray just played. Man, that stuff sucked that he just played. Yeah. All right, let's play this one. This is when it originally happened here. Bound body found in ditch in East Haven. Yeah. A body wrapped from head to toe in a tarp and bound tightly with wire was found Saturday morning in a drainage ditch near Brandley's department store on Frontage Road, police said. Police said they were notified by a truck driver who spotted the body about 10 a.m. while making delivery at the rear of the department store. Now, the body apparently had been in a drain pipe for about a week, according to police, Lieutenant Walter Heck. Heck said the body apparently was washed out of the pipe by heavy rains Heck said police do not know what sex the body is. I wonder how they weren't able to tell that. The body, wrapped as found, was taken to a medical examiner. Or maybe that's why, because they didn't unwrap the body. Asked if the death may have been a gangland killing, Heck said, "It could be. At this point, I don't know what to think." This is 1975, August 17th, newspaper. Then we've got this one right here. Cause of death of woman is asphyxiation. The state medical examiner said Sunday the cause of death of a woman found in a drainage ditch Saturday in East Haven was asphyxiation by smothering. Dr. Elliot Gross said the body, found Saturday tightly wrapped in a tarp and bound with antenna wire, that's crazy, right? Has not been identified. He said an autopsy was performed Sunday at the University of Connecticut Medical Center in Farmington. Sunday morning, the body had been identified as that of a white woman in her 20s, a truck driver making a delivery to Bradley's department store on Frontage Road, had spotted the body in a drainage ditch Saturday and notified police. Police said the body apparently was stuffed into a 30-inch drainage pipe and washed into the ditch by heavy rains. Pretty crazy, right? Ooh, there goes my stomach. Yeah, so this is when the article, she went missing just like, well, the body was found like the 16th and these articles came out on the 17th. Okay, so I'm going to play the press conference now.
New Haven State's Attorney John Doyle and many others to announce a big break in the cold case 1975 Jane Doe homicide. The body of Jane Doe was found along Frontage Road on August 16, 1975. Before we make any announcements, I want to personally thank all the East Haven police investigators, both past and present, that have been working on this case for over 47 years. Some of our retirees are here today for today's announcement. I'd also like to recognize and thank the New Haven State Attorney's Office, Office of Chief Medical Examiner, the Connecticut State Forensic Lab, Identifinders International, the Sullivan, Tennessee County Sheriff's Office, and the Massachusetts State Police, along with our own East Haven Public Works Department and the East Haven Memorial Funeral Home, as well as others who have contributed to this investigation throughout the years. All these people and agencies have assisted us in one way or another, and we are grateful. I'm now going to call Public Information Officer Captain Joseph Murgo to the podium. It should be noted that not only is Captain Murgo our department spokesperson, but he's also one of the investigators currently involved in this case. Captain.
This lady right here is the sister of her. All those years later. That's crazy, right? Like 47 years maybe.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Captain Joseph Murgo with the East Haven Police Department. Thank you all so much for joining us today. We're here to provide an update on a case that has haunted this community for almost 5 decades. As most of you know, the body of a deceased female found bound and gagged was discovered in a drainage ditch along Frontage Road on August 16, 1975. Over the years, detectives have followed up on every lead that came their way, but the victim of this heinous crime remained unidentified for 48 years, and her killer has never been brought to justice. After a year at the medical examiner's office, the body of Jane Doe was buried at the State Street Cemetery in Hamden, Connecticut. We decided to take this investigation to the next step in 2020 when we explored the possibility of exhuming her body from the State Street Cemetery. State Street Cemetery in Hamden is no longer in operation and has been defunct since 2010. It's the location of many unmarked graves, and our first visit to the cemetery in 2020 was when we met retired New Haven Sergeant Tony Grigo, retired Yale University Captain Joe Vitale, and our friend Amy White. By leveraging the power of Facebook, Tony reached out to the Hamden community in search of anyone with intimate knowledge of the State Street Cemetery. Hamden really came through. They got us in touch with the ex-cemetery director, who agreed to meet us at the cemetery. With the help of public records, death certificates, and a hand-drawn map, we were able to pinpoint what we thought was the proper burial location for Jane Doe. In June of 2022, after pooling our resources together, we converged on the State Street Cemetery to exhume the body of Jane Doe. After locating the casket and exhuming the body, we were shocked and devastated to find out that we found the wrong body. The body in the casket was in fact a male. We were frustrated and discouraged, but we knew we had to press on. Pastor Mark Pilter from the Old Stone Church gave a eulogy, and we held a vigil for the deceased individual. The deceased was transferred to a brand new casket provided by the East Haven Memorial Funeral Home, and we buried him again. Our next visit to the cemetery, a few weeks later, was with an employee from the United States Department of Agriculture. This time, we utilized a ground-penetrating radar device, which is basically an X-ray machine on wheels. What we found that day was even more shocking. We discovered about 5 times the amount of caskets than originally anticipated. Caskets were stacked on top of each other and packed close together next to each other. But we were able to pinpoint a better location for Jane Doe. In July of 2022, we returned for a second exhumation. This time, we located Jane Doe's casket, exhumed her, and with the help of the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, we collected several samples of DNA, which was turned over to Identifinders International. Then we waited. We finally got the call we were waiting for last week. Today, I am proud to announce that we can finally give Jane Doe her name back. After many setbacks and challenges, I am proud to say that in close partnership with Identifinders International, we can positively identify the victim of this crime as Patricia Meleady Newsome. Patricia was born in Idaho Falls, Idaho on June 20th, 1957, and relocated to the East Coast with family in the late 1960s. In 1972, she attended a boarding school in the Monticello, New York area, but ran away from the school with a friend en route to the state of Maine. She was never heard from or seen again. With the task of identifying Patricia behind us, we can now focus on the homicide investigation, which in part is why I stand here before you today. It's unclear to us whether Patricia made it to Maine or not, and we want to locate the friend she allegedly ran off with. We also want to identify the school Patricia attended in Sullivan County, New York, in 1972. Learning the events that led up to her death will help us make progress in this case. We surely cannot stop now. In closing, I would just like to say this. There are thousands of Jane and John Doe cases around the country, even more around the world. And with that comes family members searching for answers and justice for the ones they love. This case is a perfect example of what can be achieved if you never lose hope and keep pushing. We now have the tools and the resources to solve every single one of these cases. The term Jane and John Doe can be a thing of the past. If you are watching this right now and you are one of those families, I'm urging you to upload your DNA to GEDmatch and create an account on NamUs or any other investigatory genealogy database so companies like Identifinders International can help bring closure to your family. Thank you.
I'd like to call Mayor Joseph Carfora, say a few remarks.
Thank you, Chief. I am East Haven Mayor Joseph A. Carfora, Joseph-Carfora. Today is a very emotional day for many. especially Patricia's sister, Mary Ann, and her family, who traveled here from Tennessee. Mary Ann, I wish this wasn't the way you and your family experienced our town. But at the same time, I hope we are able to bring some closure and assist in providing a peaceful, dignified resting place for your sister. I have watched this process very closely since I became mayor of East Haven. The professionalism and tenacity of everyone involved in this case, past and present, was so very impressive. And you have provided the highest level of professional effort, honor, and respect that this process required. On behalf of the town, I want to thank each and every one of you. In closing, to the family of Patricia, I want to offer the resources of my office moving forward in any way, shape, or form. I do hope and pray that today brings your family some peace. Thank you.
Now I'm going to ask that Colleen Fitzpatrick from Identifiers International please come up.
Yeah, so this is Identifiers International. That's the company that we work with, and that's what when you guys help support the channel, that's what allows us to do that. So you guys are, like I was saying earlier before I got rudely interrupted, you guys are the sole source of income for the channel, right? So when we have moments like this, it gets really discouraging on the show. Thanks, Eugenie. And when I do, here's the thing, everybody. When I put something out like audio, and we're listening to audio, I don't need to hear from you. Oh, I don't like listening to audio, or I didn't hear a thing. I mean, nobody cares about that. We're just in here trying to listen to it, and if you like it, then you like it. Okay, but if you don't like it, you don't need to say that you don't like it. Like everything. It's just so discouraging for me to do these shows when it's like that. I really don't know what else to tell you guys. I try to make it as short as possible. I cut out as much stuff, and it was only 16 minutes long. And I don't know. Just try to think what it would be like if you were on the other side, and people say that. So here's Colleen Fitzpatrick. She's been on my show, I don't know, half dozen times at least. And they're going to be on Friday about this exact case. And the lady right here to Colleen's left is the sister of the woman that was identified, and she's going to be on too, and then I guess the lead detective. So hopefully you guys find that interesting. I mean, I'm a little bit nervous now doing my evening shows, to be honest with you.
The East Haven Police Department is a wonderful example of persistence and determination in bringing this case to a close. There were so many twists and turns that remain to be told about this case. We are so happy that they entrusted us with the case to bring Patricia's identity back to her and her family. I want to thank Linda Doyle, our senior forensic genealogist on our team, for the hard work she did. We're very happy to bring what I would not call closure, I would call release to the family.
I agree with you.
There is no closure because Patricia, of course, isn't coming back. But now, the time of wondering
there is no
over.
closure.
They know where she is. And they can maybe go on with their lives because that energy devoted to wondering is no longer necessary. And we know that the police department will continue to investigate the homicide, and we look forward to bringing that to an end as well. So I have to thank the police department, amazing example of persistence over 50 years for this case.
It's so funny because sometimes I talk to her for, like the other day we talked for like 2 hours, I think, just about random shit. And she's so cool, so smart. Sometimes it's hard to understand exactly when she's explaining something, but she's going to let me watch.
I love your show. I listen nightly.
Well, thank you. I'm going to watch like a PowerPoint on genealogy she said she has, so we'll see.
I want to thank our people for working since maybe two and a half years to follow all those twists and turns and finally bring the identification to an end. And just thank you guys for the support, and we look forward to solving the homicide as well. Thank you.
Right, I'm gonna have Mary Ann Colette's sister is gonna come up and say a few words.
Hi everybody. Sorry, I'm trying to keep together. I'm Mary Ann Newsome Colette. Patricia was my sister. She left home when I was 9 years old, and that was the last time I saw her. I can't express my gratitude to the people of East Haven, to the police of East Haven, to the people that searched the DNA databases, to the people that just took the time to share my sister's picture on Facebook, to everybody who's been involved in the funeral home. I've had a chance to read things online a little bit. The main thing to me, the most important thing to me is there are so many me's out there. There are thousands of us. And whoever you are, I know there are times you just want to give up. I know there are times that you cry. There will be people that will tell you to stop. There will be people that will tell you you're crazy. There will be people out there that will call you obsessed. There will be people out there who love you. There will be people out there who support you. There will be strangers out there wishing well for you that you never knew existed. There will be a whole town that took care of your sister for 47 years.
Yep, just like Daniel Armentrout.
Get your information out there. Don't just sit on the couch. Don't just cry. Get your information out there in GED match. Do what you gotta do. The soundtrack's changed over the years. Pump up the volume to pink. Whatever you gotta do. Sit there at the computer. Make a Facebook group. Don't let people tell you to stop. They never stopped. I never stop. Don't stop. And most of all, thank you. Thank you so much to everybody that cared. The people back home, Sandy, Tina, retired Detective Bill Clinton, who's my uncle, who was the first detective on our side. I love you all. Thank you all. And remember, everybody out there searching, people like John Bowen and Bailey Sarian, they're going to keep it alive for us and keep it relevant, okay? Do your part. Get out there. Get on GED. This is the ending I want for you, and I hope for everyone. This was my best case scenario, so thank you all.
All right, we're going to open up for a few questions.
Just to the family, what was that like to get that phone call that your sister was
Now look at all those people, dude.
Well, my DNA was put into the database in relation to another search. And there is a detective in Sullivan County, Tennessee, named Detective Peters, who took my DNA. He showed up at my house, and I thought he was there to swab my DNA. And we sat in his car, and he put Captain Murdo on the other line. The relief. Tremendous. Just tremendous. Because I always knew in my heart that she was gone. I always knew. And just knowing that other people cared, that there was another side that was looking, and then I could bring her home.
It must be a range of emotions.
Oh.
I mean, do you feel like this is getting closer to closure?
Yes.
What does closure mean for you? Would it be arrest a suspect?
You know, when you get 47 years is a long time. I have a granddaughter that is the age I was when Tricia left. There are a lot of emotions. There are so many emotions. You know, maybe people's idea of closure is a little different. But for me, this is a lot of closure. Because whoever did this to my sister, whoever they are, they're either going to meet their maker soon, or they're going to meet these fine folks. So either way, it's not going to go well for them.
Any idea on who could have done it?
No. What we need is for someone who went to boarding school with my sister. Somebody knew her. So somebody that went to boarding school, and I don't know that we can limit that to New York, really. I think we want to put that for the whole anybody who knew her. Her name was Tricia. You know, somebody went to school with her. Somebody knew her. Somebody knew something. The world doesn't act in a vacuum. Everybody knows somebody. Just come forward. Come forward. I'm not going to be angry. Nobody's going to be angry. If you knew something and you didn't say something for all these years, we all have reasons for what we do or don't do. Now's the time. Now's the time. If you know who did it, just anonymous tip, something, anything. Unburden yourself, because it's been a long time. You're getting ready to meet your maker. You know, like I said, out of these guys.
You mentioned that people that are in a similar situation. You mentioned that there will be people who tell you not to think about it, tell you to move on. Were you ever at that point?
Oh, how many times? How many times? It's not something you bring up in conversation. You know? Oh, well, you know, tell me about your sister. Well, you know. There are a lot of people that say, you know, oh, you're crazy. You know, that was a long time ago. She's probably alive somewhere. You know, you should let sleeping dogs lie. Things like that. You know, you just got to let it go. Let it go. It's tearing you up. None of my family, by the way. My family has been the most supportive. And if it hadn't been for that over the years, you know, it would have been a lot harder. But like I said, you find what motivates you. You find something positive to motivate you. And you stick with it. And you just put one foot in front of the other. And DNA wasn't around. We had to wait this long. This just was not possible years ago. So now is the time. If it's time for me, it's time for others too. You know, and if there's a lot of me's, there's a lot of them's. And it has to be a partnership. If we don't work together, nothing happens.
Was Patricia 17?
She was 17 the last time I saw her. It's my understanding that it was not too long after her 18th birthday that she was found.
And not aware of your familial situation, but are your parents with us? Or
Oh, no. Thankfully, my mother passed long before my sister went missing, so she didn't have to endure this. My father was gone 5 years later.
What would this mean? I know your mother doesn't know what happened, but what would it mean for them to have this case finally identified and a little bit of answers for your family?
She'll be put with my mom. She'll be put with my mom. It would mean everything. And it does mean.
You're planning on having the remains buried at your parents'
Right now, my parents aren't buried together. But I just right now I want to have her cremated, and we want to have her put with my mom, but I want to keep her with me just for a little while. You know, this has been way too long.
For Colleen, if you don't mind, can you explain a little bit more without getting too scientific into the details? But what was it? Was there a key piece of evidence that was able to crack this case? Was it object work that she had, or where did you find the DNA, and how did you put all these puzzle pieces together?
Well, we got the DNA sample from the East Haven Police Department as a result of the exhumations. And we had them send it to one of our labs that we work with to create forensic genetic genealogy data. And from there, we uploaded it when the data was ready to GEDmatch, which is the go-to database that we use. And thankfully, Marianne's had submitted her own DNA. So in comparing, going into the database and looking at all of the DNA cousins, we call them, it became obvious that we had an answer. We saw that her DNA was in the database, and of course we had to do some analysis and some genealogy around that to confirm, but that's what happened. Normally, what we do is we upload to the database, we check all the DNA.
Yeah, when they uploaded, they had a sister. I mean, that's like as good as you can get, really.
DNA cousins, because they're all related to our Jane Doe. And it's like a Sudoku puzzle where they're all related to her, but all related to each other too. So normally we rearrange them so everything's self-consistent, horizontal, vertical, in analogy to Sudoku. And when we're done, there's only one piece of the puzzle missing. And that's who we're looking for.
Captain Virgo, or maybe the chief.
That's so awesome.
Bring you any closer to possibly identifying the suspect?
Yeah, so again, with identifying Patricia behind us, we are looking to learn some of the circumstances leading up to her ultimate death. Again, we do believe that she traveled, and her mode of travel, which was very common back then, was to hitchhike. So, we believe that after she ran away from the boarding school, she possibly hitchhiked to Maine. So it's not clear to us if she ever got to Maine, or if she became separated from her friend on the trip up to Maine. So, after scouring Marianne's Facebook page, find Patricia Newsome, and listening to the podcast that was created in her memory, we did learn a few of the circumstances that led to her death. So that will definitely help us in the homicide investigation to follow, and we look forward to uncovering even more once we reach out, and hopefully once people start reaching out to us who may have known.
I think it's possible. Maybe the friend's dead too. Maybe they were hitchhiking and a trucker picked them up and killed both of them. And her friend is somebody else from the same time frame that's missing. Who knows?
What was it about this case that kept this department on for 40 seconds?
So, first let me start off by saying that every generation of detectives in this agency put their heart and soul into this investigation. I came around in 2003, So in 2003, as a rookie, you always heard about this case, but never did I think I would be able to,
it's identifiers though.
But
they're going to come on as
guests. We did
guests.
know that technology just needed to catch up, and if the technology had existed back then, in this case, or at least her identity would have been discovered back then, no doubt. So we can't take all the credit. Technology just needed to catch up in this case. We were just, lucky to be able to
That's a
apply
terrible
it,
sketch
and it was
here. It
successful.
looks nothing like her.
Is there anything that people, need to know about that cemetery? You said you found bodies stacked on top of one another, very close quarters. I know, the association was not long ago, but do you believe that there's other mysteries in there, other unidentified people?
Yeah. So I don't know, is the only answer I can give you. I can tell you that what we found, especially when we went back with the USDA with the ground penetrating radar, is that there was a lot more caskets in that area than we originally anticipated, and none of them had headstones.
Wow.
And I could only imagine that the method in which they were buried, was unorthodox. So I don't know who's buried, who else is buried in there. There are headstones dating back to the 1600s in a different part of the cemetery, but I think this back southeast portion of the cemetery is filled with people that that we don't.
Yeah, I already answered you, frazzled cat. Yeah.
May I come up? Absolutely. Sure.
My name is Tony Grigo. This is such an important day for me and Amy. Amy White and I worked on this case for a long time. But I want to share a little story with you. Amy and I belong to a yacht club in New Haven, and we had a meeting one night. And after the meeting, Amy and I started talking and joking around. And Amy shared with me that she likes to work on cold cases. And I mentioned to her I knew about this burial in the State Street Cemetery that was unidentified. And we thought it was an interesting story. And later on in the evening, I went home and I keep a journal. And I wrote in the journal, August 16th, 2016. And I immediately called up Amy and I says, Amy, the discussion that we had tonight was exactly 41 years to the day after she was found. So she was found on August 16th. Amy and I had this conversation on August 16th. And we decided to work together on this case. My first step was to contact the East Haven Police Department. And I got to tell you, they were absolutely wonderful. We went back and forth. They made it very clear to me that because it was still an active case in the town, they would not release any information. I'm a retired police officer from New Haven, and I understand that. But nevertheless, we still work together. I corresponded occasionally with the town attorney. They were just wonderful. And one day I get a call, and it's from Captain Murgo. And he says, do you have any idea where she's buried? And I said, well, I think I do from old newspaper accounts. I said, and he says, well, we're at the State Street Cemetery. I says, I'll be right there. I only live 2 minutes away. As a matter of fact, every Saturday I go there and pick up trash because there's a lot of veterans buried there. And I met them there, and they told me they were working diligently on this case. So this went over a period of time till it came to this such an important day, not only for me and Amy, but for the family here to have closure. And I just wanted to and thank you to the East Haven Police Department and all that you did in this investigation. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Amy? Thank you.
Any other additional questions? I just want to note one thing. I think you'd asked a question. The biggest thing is that the biggest message we can get out right now is if anybody knows the identity of any of the people that went to school with Patricia during this time period, it's imperative to reach out to us. I can't speak more on how Mariana emphasized that will definitely help us. And probably the biggest thing is that never give up searching. If anyone has any additional information, contact us. Marianne, we're sorry for your family's loss. And on behalf of every member of this department, we offer our deepest sympathy and hope this brings some closure to you and your family. May Patricia rest now peacefully. Lastly, this remains a very active investigation, and with the identity of Patricia Newsome, there are many more leads that we will be vigorously pursuing in the future. Thank you.
All right, well, that's basically it. Now, this article has more information in it, but now down here it says she was born in Idaho, but would move with her family, including 2 brothers and a sister, Marianne, many times. Her mother died from cancer, and her father remarried and would remarry again. While living in New Jersey, she was sent to a boarding school in upstate New York, and in around 1974, she'd run away from and never be heard from again. So she'd been identified, and now police will work to find out who killed her. Yeah, so, I mean, there was some interesting stuff about the cemetery, and, you know, they found that one body first, and wow, there was actually another one there as well. And so, I mean, all that stuff will be on the show on Friday. So if you go on to Friday, the show, you know, what time is it going to be? At 5:30, the sister, the lead detective, and Colleen are coming on. Hopefully you guys find that interesting. But anyways, I'm going to call it a night, you guys. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you to, let's see, Annabelle Stealth, Annie laid her hair down D, Danielle, Caligal 3, Jim Lawn, Caligal 3, Danielle Burrow, A Blank Slate, Danielle, Sleuth and Sandals, Lisa Valenzuela, Ashy Snow, and Eugenie, and also for the gifted memberships, Caligal 3. Appreciate that. All right, so thank you guys for being here. And like I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one
wait.
person that is...
Now I feel like I gotta stay
crime
here.
dissector, plug rejector, I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretch.
Wait a minute, now I have to stay? Okay. I was just gonna take off. Well, that's pretty crazy. I can't take off after that. It's like, hey, you pay to stay on the show. I was just gonna take off. I don't really have much more to do, but thank you, Quietly Frozen, the coolest name in YouTube history. Well, that was very kind of you. On an otherwise catastrophe of a night. Thank you very much. Let's see. Well, I could do this. I did have a... What was the other story here? Oh yeah, we could do an update on Deanne Warner case that we covered. Yeah, I've been busy all day. Yeah. Well, I'll do the update on Deanne Warner. They'll store the 1949 Jean Spangler. She was like an actress who went missing. I thought that would be sort of interesting. She actually dated what's his name? Can't remember. It was like a famous actor. And he goes, she said we dated and stuff. I don't know, man. Something a little suspicious just on that little part. But I'll do the Deanne Warner. Okay. I was just going to save it for another night. But this is one that we covered first, and then we got wackos that take it over and come up with conspiracy theories and nut jobs, and we don't know what's going on after that. But so this is a crazy story. I don't know if they're going to break down anything in here, but it was basically she was at home. She sent her daughter over to her friend's house because she knew she was going to be arguing with her husband. And then there was actually two other people there too, and they argued about, hey, you don't defend me, and then she just disappeared off the face of the earth. And her husband is almost like 99.9999999% did something to her. There's almost no doubt at all. He's been doing a bunch of shady financial stuff. Since then, I've talked to her brother Greg 2 or 3 times on the side, just on the phone. And, it's like, it's just obvious, okay? So, this one, Michigan State Police crews. Well, let me pull it up on here. There it is, Deanne Warner. Go over to this is the property right here. It'll be interesting to see where they were searching compared to what we were doing. But it was really, really strange stuff. Something about, like, let's see here, Hummer was parked there, and then something happened where it drove around, and the Hummer was parked here, and then there's a camera that faces just like this, and then another one over here, and they have different videos, and it's really, I'd have to go back in time to get the exact information, but I'm just going to read you this document right here. Michigan State Police crews scoured many areas of Lenawee County today, armed with search warrants, looking for the remains or evidence surrounding the case of missing mom and grandmother, Deanne Warner. Hey, by the way, did you get your the Notebook Quietly Frozen? Their searches were directed at parts of the estimated 4,000 acres Dee's husband, Dale Warner, either owns or leases to farm. Officer T.J. Barnes of the Michigan State Police could not comment on the case, but he and the team of at least 6 people were searching through a field off of Pentecost Highway. Let's see where that is. Yeah, remember that at the very beginning we had the daughter on and the daughter's husband, and I mean, it was really interesting. So this is 711. This is Pentecost. Well, let me get the roads thing on here. There it is. That's Pentecost Highway right there. Well, that's interesting because that goes up here and then down. Wonder what property they would have over there. 6 people were searching a field off Pentecost Highway. We have about 10 different crews out here today in various areas. On M50, police and K9 units were searching another field and the ditch near a culvert. A machine using ground-penetrating sonar was being used. Detective Long, Michigan State Police, said, "We have a handful of search warrants. We will probably be here for the next several days." In other areas, boats and a four-wheeler were used in the search. Deanne Warner, 52, was reported missing from her rural Tecumseh, Michigan home 2 years ago on April 25th, 2021. Her 4 adult children and extended family members believe her husband is responsible for her disappearance. Dee's brother, Greg Hardy, he's a cool dude, was notified this morning at 8:49 that search warrants had been issued. There is a spot in particular that I've been very suspicious of for many reasons. He is referring to an area where there was a 25-foot hole dug. So there was a 25-foot deep hole dug to burn trunks of trees and other debris after Dale cleared an area of woods shortly after Dee's disappearance. That's pretty crazy. You know, that sort of sounds a little bit like, what was her name? The one in Colorado, Frazee. You remember that Patrick Frazee guy? And I can't remember her name for some reason. But remember how he burned her in this pit? Makes you kind of wonder, man. You dig a 25-foot pit, you put a body in there with a bunch of lumber and then load some gasoline on top and light it up. Thank you, Dan Hodemaker.
Chewbacca? Oh, I'll be Chewbacca if you want me to.
And by the way, an easy way to figure out who a troll is if you're out there is when they come in here and they make a comment, you just look up their account and it's usually something that was created in the last week or so. Okay? And even if they're, basically if they're in this year, they could be a troll. Okay? And so they think they're always so clever and cute and nice and funny when they put those comments out there, but it's garbage. Hey, thanks, Dan Hodemaker. While Mr. Hardy is pleased to see efforts from Michigan State Police, he said, "My largest concern is this will be another emotional letdown for the family. After 2 years, Dee's family does not believe she is alive. Yeah, there's no chance. Mr. Hardy doesn't think finding his sister's remains is integral to solving the case. Let me get back up here. So 25-foot hole dug to burn trunks of trees. Man, what a perfect place. And other debris after Dale cleared an area of woods shortly after Dee's disappearance. I don't think sonar equipment is effective at that depth. I know that land very well. It's clay and heavily compacted. It would need to be dug out. It's certainly a site that deserves serious evaluation. While Mr. Hardy is pleased to see effort from Michigan State Police, he said, "My largest concern is this still will be another emotional letdown. After 2 years, Dee's family does not believe she's alive. Mr. Hardy doesn't think finding his sister's remains is integral to solving the case. He wants authorities to act on the mountain of evidence they already have. It's the evidence around. It's a ridiculously strong circumstantial case already, by the way. He wants authorities to act on the mountain of evidence they already have. It's the evidence around the case that will lead to a conviction. Even if her body was found buried in her front yard, Mr. Warner could say someone else did it. With him being her husband, forensic evidence finding his DNA would not necessarily be beneficial. At this point, with all the evidence collected by Billy Little, it's not rocket scientist. Not rocket science. I don't know if is Billy Little the private investigator guy? Oh, there he is. Yeah, Billy Little Jr. is a nationally recognized investigative attorney who began investigating Dee's disappearance on March 2022. He is working the case pro bono. Little has interviewed over 100 people and has analyzed the case from every angle and continues to provide his findings to authorities. All I'm after is the truth, no matter where that leads, Little said. Lieutenant Gonzalez, spokesperson for Michigan State Police, told me the extensive search effort is not due to a new lead or tip. This is just part of the investigation that the detectives from the Special Investigative Unit are following up on. To the community of concerned citizens wanting justice for Dee, Gonzalez said, it's evident from the number of troopers out there conducting a search today that we have not forgotten her. This case is still an active investigation. I mean, most of you people that have been around remember this case. It was a pretty big deal. And thanks again, quietly frozen. Yeah, appreciate it. What did you say? Did you get the notebook? I shipped it off. Maybe it's just recently. I don't know. I asked if Dale Warner is a suspect or person of interest. Gonzalez said, not that I'm aware of. See, for background on Dee Warner's disappearance, you can start here. Join the Justice for Dee's Facebook page for at least updates. For all of the latest updates, I mean. I guess that's a ground-penetrating radar pushed around by Santa Claus's uncle. I don't know who this guy is right here. But apparently that's a ground-penetrating radar. Looks like a golf cart. To me. Hold on, I gotta get my Linus Blanket music playing in the background. Oh, you did get it. Oh, cool. It's pretty quick once you get it into the mail. I sent 9 out today, but probably get it, I guess, by Friday, most people. If you're Zozo, though, you'll get yours in December. I mean, it's just... I don't know what the hell the deal is. Other people I send it to in Australia, it gets there, but man, somehow they put it on ships. I don't think it's very quick when it gets on a ship somewhere. Yeah, I'm gonna call Greg tomorrow and see if he can talk at all. I have no idea. I mean, I sat there and tracked it. You could just see it on the site. That it was in Hawaii, then it got on a boat. You know, it didn't really make any sense. This is right around the time. This is March 2021. Yeah, and there was different relatives living around here. Just a really crazy situation. The notebook did? Yeah. Forward to receiving my notebook. Oh, yeah? Yeah, yours, well, I think yours was in the one today. Because I didn't get to send them out right away. I had to, you know, like I like to, I'm not gonna, it's hard to just do one and drive all the way down to the post office. So, like, hey, if you're out there, anybody, and you want the blue notebook, they're really cool. They got the paw prints on the front. At least they did, the first 9 or so didn't have that because it wasn't something I thought of doing, but they're all cool, but these ones have the paw prints on the front and inside, and then I sign it. So you send 25 into PayPal and let me know that you want a notebook, and then I send them out. But that doesn't even make sense. The joke up there, you guys. Zozo's joke. I mean, I just sent the notebook out. It was way after the wedding, and it was a ship from the United States going to Hawaii, trying to get to Australia. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. You gotta put the parts together in the jokes. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, we know that they got married in Hawaii. What does it got to do with me shipping and the boat stopping in Hawaii on its way to Australia to deliver the package? Are you guys like... Now, if it said that somebody had to fly to Hawaii to pick it up, it's not, though. Because the joke has to make sense to be funny, right? This account? I mean... It wasn't, Marlene. Sorry about that. That's because you didn't understand the story. That's why it was funny to you. Let's see. Everybody knows they got married in Hawaii. There isn't a soul in here. I've been covering the Lori and Chad Daybell case before you ever heard of it, Marlene. How about that? No, it wasn't, though. It wasn't. Let's see. Yeah, but how does that make sense, though? See, I guess I'm too literal. You guys just sort of laugh that there's a vague connection to something, and it's like, right? Like, for me, it has to make sense. Like, if I say, hey, I shipped something, the notebook got on a boat, and it stopped in Hawaii first, then it got shipped over to Australia, and it took forever. Okay, and then somebody goes, "Oh, well, I went to the wedding in Hawaii." Okay, well, that was like before, and how does that make the notebook get there? I don't get it. I don't get it. But hey, that's me. You know, I guess I need it to make sense. You guys just Hawaii Daybells. Good night, 8675309. I guess I got to work on my sense of humor. I'll spend some time on that. Yeah. Well, this is my dry humor, you know. Oh, I'm not mean at all. I'm totally normal. Hey, Chloe, that was funny, right? Chloe? Hey, Chloe, that was funny, right? See? She didn't even think it was funny. I don't care, this account. That means your sense of humor is warped. It means you don't understand things and just giggle because there's a loose association. No, I could definitely let my hair down. It's just not funny at all. I'm just curious what was funny about it. Let's see. I need the trigger bunny over here. I think I've been triggered by it because it doesn't make sense to me. Blue is still a cool dog even if it doesn't come. Even if it doesn't come. I don't get it. Wow, I'm struggling tonight, man. What does that mean? Blue is still a cool dog even if it doesn't come. It's cool. Huh? What? If the blue doesn't come when I call him, or what are you referring to? No, it's just I have an actual sense of humor where things need to line up, you know. If a comedian told a joke and went, "Hey, everybody, I walked down the street today, saw a barber. Oh, and a dog jumped over." Ah! Woo! That, come on, you guys, come on. Everyone should take an edible before the show. Yeah, oh yeah, everyone gets stoned. I'm sure it'll be really funny. Yeah, well, you might have been in the batch today, Mel's Diner. I don't know. Don't know. Now, let's see. What would have made it funny is if she'd said something like, let's see. Well, it isn't because the notebook was sent out at a totally different time. You know? Yeah, well, that's definitely not one of them, Marlene. It's, you know, there was nothing about it because the notebook was just sent recently where Lori and Chad's wedding was like 3 years ago, right? So that didn't make sense to me either. Not only that, the notebook was sent to just randomly. It went to like LA and then like on a boat to Hawaii and then flown over to Australia. So none of it made sense to me. So yes, maybe it's too literal, but that's just how my brain works, right? Just like, you know, people with other things, like they can't listen to something because they have ADHD, right? They tell everybody that. So I'm just telling you that those jokes aren't funny to me because they don't make sense, actually. Right? Yeah, to me it's not funny. You know, I'm doing the same thing, right? Like when people come in and go, "Oh, wow, I can't listen to this shit." Okay, I'm saying I don't think that joke's funny because it's just not funny to me. Right? I mean, you guys can laugh because it's probably the... Oh, I'm sure you did, LM. That's probably not even the real one. We're going to have to put you on timeout. Let's see. Let's see, hold on a second. Oh, it was great, Camo Dude. It was awesome. I want everybody to like me. Hey, Camo Dude, hey, I want everybody to like me. I'm going to laugh because I want... You know, it's just wild. Let's see, the notebook had a long layover. Oh, yeah. Well, I sent the notebook out probably 6 months ago, and the wedding was 3 years ago. It was at the Elvis in Hawaii tour. Let's see. Yep. Start blocking and moving, blocking and moving, blocking and moving, blocking and moving. I don't have a favorite joke. I laugh at jokes they're actually funny. You know, when you read the joke, you go, ah, you know, because it made sense. You know, it had all the elements and the parts were put together. Let's see. Oh man, what do you mean I have to go to jail? I have to go to jail because I didn't like the joke? Jesus, crazy. Yeah. A malachite ring. Now that, maybe something about a malachite ring would have been funny. Like, yeah, I flew to Hawaii to get the malachite ring. But let's see, I still see. It was still way later. Well, I'm still sitting here. You told me to go to jail. In this case, nobody wants to let me out. Especially someone like Marlene, who wants to be liked by everybody. Oh, it was hilarious. Oh, it was the greatest joke in the history of the world. Oh, and a hula skirt. Yeah. Probably, she's probably the one that brought the ukulele and let Chad play it. Okay. Oh yeah, my -5. Get it? Went to Hawaii to get laid, everybody. Yeah. Thanks, Billy Giuliani. -5 plus 15 by American Lady. Not bad. Then we've got Quietly Frozen with sunscreen. Oh, that's not helping me get out. That's just sunscreen. Oh, I guess for Hawaii, I guess. Then WNC Granny. Yeah, I mean, can you blame me, guys, for just wanting a joke to be funny? That actually makes sense. Can you blame me? It's for the notebook. Well, I sent her another one recently, and I'm just wondering if that one's going to get there like in a month. You know? It'll probably be. Well, actually, you know what's weird over there? It's the opposite. So here we're almost summer, so they're like October over there.
No bail.
Wow, it's Sarita. What's going on, Sarita? Sarita, what's going on?
Great sense of humor. Love you, Gray. Romantic face.
Look at this is just my dry humor here, you guys. I don't really give a shit about the joke. Okay? To me, it's funny to debate it because that's just what I do. You know, it's like, are you kidding me? Come on, get the elements together, you guys.
Bail money.
Thank you, Sarita, Tony Lee. I heard love is in the air for Sarita, though. I think that's why we're not seeing her that much anymore.
Ramen, steaming bowl.
You know how that always works, right? The friends, they throw you to the curb as soon as they meet somebody. And then you're right there. They're there again when everything goes south, right? Oh, wait, what do we got? Sector, the connector, I'm a circular demon detector. Hey, come on, where is it? It just disappeared off the screen. Oh, wait. I know, Sarita. Hey, it's good to see you. Good to see you back around a little bit.
Smiley face.
Now we just need Cairo to show up. You know, I haven't seen him in a minute. And I talked to him on the phone last week, though, but he's busy out there. If love comes for me, nobody will see me anymore. I will be too busy running away from that bullshit as fast as I can. When I shake it, I will come back. Well, when you mean you'll run away from the person who loves you, and until you can hide from that person, is what you're saying, right? Then you'll come back. That's interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen you like in a couple weeks for sure, Sarita. Did you guys go on a vacation, or you guys call a vacay? Or what do you guys call them over there? You call them something like... it's weird how they're just so different, the terms that you guys use. Yeah, Dan. I emailed Dan Carr. I'm not really sure where. Yeah, holiday. That's right. That's right. Ah, now I see. Frazzled cat. Now I get it. Now I get it. You must be from there too. Dan Carr will probably be back one of these days. Yeah, and one of these days, so again, on Friday we're going to have those same people that were at the press conference, but the sister, Colleen, and the lead detective, and they can get into the details of all the different stuff. And then, we have 5 cases just sort of in the works currently, waiting to go. I think the coolest one currently that's looking good is the Altoona Lake, the guy with the fins on. That one. That's right. The Notebook went on holiday. There we go. You can make it like that. The only element that doesn't work though is that I sent it 2 years after the wedding in Hawaii. You get it? So we're gonna have to make something. How do we make that? Oh wait. Okay. Here's how it could have been funnier to me. I used a portal to go to Hawaii, and I was there for their wedding, and I thought maybe when I was time traveling, the Notebook would have came by. Or is that a little too much? Oh, come on. That was pretty good. Wait, let's see. I went to time travel into the future. The portal got haywire. And okay. I was going to pick the Notebook up in Hawaii through one of Lori Daybell's portals. It went haywire and sent me back 2 years, and I went to their wedding. Boom! God, I nailed it, man. Every single element was there. You get it? And the thing with the thing? Forget it. It was hilarious, Zozo. You know it was. I put all the elements in it. It worked this time. We weren't forgetting that the Notebook went from Hawaii to Australia, or that it was 2 years after. I put it all in there. It was absolutely hilarious, EI rule. You just want to be liked by specific people, so you don't think it's funny. It's more of a sort of like a high school type thing where I want the cool people to like me, so I'm going to say the cool thing. Right? Yeah, they sent me back in time. I just think if you type it in really succinctly, it would be absolutely hilarious. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, well, we're doing that. We're talking to the freaks again. That's sort of fun, actually. Sometimes, I guess that's more relaxing instead of having to do. The one I was gonna go over though tomorrow, or maybe maybe tomorrow. I guess. Let's see. It's this one right here. Look. This lady, oh, you can't see it. This one. She's pretty, right? I mean, this is 1949. It says right here, hunting new clues to vanished Jean Elizabeth Spangler, 27, actress, dancer. Police today searched the Griffith Park spot where her ripped handbag was found yesterday. Detectives M.E. Tulloch and William Rennan were searching the spot near the park's Ferndale entrance. A park employee found the handbag. Captain Harry Didion, head of detectives of the Wilshire Police Division, said about half a dozen phone calls have come in from persons who claim they have seen the actress missing since Friday night. But none of the calls so far has produced a good clue. So anyways, what was the one? Is it this one? Hold on. Black. Yeah, some people were trying to think that maybe something similar to her, to the Black Dahlia, but I doubt that. That doesn't really make any sense. I mean, Black Dahlia obviously wanted people to find the body. What's the actor that was in, like, Romancing the Stone or whatever? That's not even a good movie to pick it from. No, wait, the Bunny Boiler movie. What's the name of that one? Shit. You know, the main, Kurt Russell, I think, is that his name? It's not Kurt Russell. What's his name? What's that guy's name? No, the one that's in the Bunny Boiler, yeah, Kurt Douglas. Yeah, so, what's his dad's name? Yeah, Michael Douglas, Kirk Douglas, yeah. I think it's Kirk Douglas that dated this woman here. And he goes, oh yeah, you know, he comes up with something. Yeah, so Michael Douglas is the one in it. And then Kirk Douglas, though, apparently dated this Spangler person. Or at least she claimed he did. Yeah, there it is right there, right? Let's see. Let me just read this part here. Investigators said they had little to go on. After Miss Short's nude, dissected body, this is the other case, was someone mailed her purse to police. Disappearance. The Miss Spangler's purse was found, a cryptic note, apparently in her handwriting, stating, Kirk, can't wait any longer. Going to see Dr. Scott. I will work best this way while Mother is away. None of Miss Spangler's friends knew a Kirk. Well, that's pretty weird. I think this might be pretty interesting because Kirk Douglas is mentioned in later articles talking about this. So at this point, they don't know who the Kirk is. Oh, that's pretty weird. All right, anyways, we'll take a look at that one tomorrow. If you guys does that sound interesting to you guys? Mildly, anyways. It's still unsolved today. She's still missing. Yeah, I was thinking something similar to that. Moofies. And it's going to be audio only and very slow. Okay? So, the way I'm going to read this tomorrow, it's going to sound much like this. Listen. Here's how it's going to go. Fearing another Black Dahlia slaying, police today launched an intensive search of Griffith Park, Ferndale, for the body of Gene Spangler, film bit player. How's that? Is that going to work? And that is for the people who can't just listen to audio. And it's going to look like this on the screen, by the way. I'm going to get rid of all this. It's just, I'm going to put a piece of black background with absolutely nothing on it. And I'm going to read it just like that. No? Okay. And then what would be cool is after I do it, we'll play it at 150 speed, but fix the pitch. And then I'll read it like this. Fearing another Black Dahlia slaying, police today launched an intensive search, but you'll have to listen to the slow version first. It'll just really help you guys that struggle with that. Oh yeah, what was that case? The one by Paula Volter, that face that she has on there. That's the one where wasn't it like he killed his sister or he attacked his sister with a hammer or something like that? I'm just kidding. I won't read it like that. Oh man. Let's see. You're gonna reach through the phone. Well, Plato won't be listening either. That's what they say. They say that. Did you hear, Gray? God, there was a joke that everybody thought was funny, but he didn't. And he had to let everybody know. Yeah, I just say what I think, right? Like everybody else does. It just came to my mind and I said it. Oh, shit. Let's see. You could a lot more. Yeah, I could, right? Fearing another Black Dahlia slang. Police today launched an intensive search of Griffith Park. Hey, there you go. I think I can be good at that. Somebody asked today what was Spanish for yada yada yada, and I said jada jada. You know how they always do the ja 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 for the laughing instead of ha ha ha. It's J A. So I was thinking, okay, we could just JADDA, JADDA. You know, I'm sure it's similar to that. Hey, Blue, what's going on, bud? Chloe, come here, Chloe. Really? Thanks, Chloe. Jeez. Come on, Chloe. Come on. Come on, Chloe. Come here. Come on, buddy. Yeah. Came all the way over there. Yeah, see, this is how little she is, see? Oh, yeah. You guys got to watch her all day. Dogs love it when you just go scratch right over their eyeballs like that. Maybe not Blue so much because his eyeballs stick out, but... Did you like that? Yeah. Oh, now Blue came over. Ah, Blue, you got jealous, huh? Come here, Blue. Come on, buddy. Oh, he took off. They're gonna go back over there now, I know it. You guys, you know what I don't like is when people go, "Great, you should put a bow in her hair." No way. That would look ludicrous. She's so cute the way it is, where it just sort of flops around. If you put the bow in there, it's just like you're caving into the Yorkie sort of.
Puppy snacks.
Oh, I gotta go give him puppy snacks now.
Too hot.
All right. So they're not going to eat. Chloe, come here. Come here.
Sorry.
Here. Look. Blue guy.
That's yours.
What is it?
Chicken asado.
Is that right? Well, the wife came in and Chloe went running over there and lost her appetite. Oh yeah, what's Burl's joke? Come on, what is it? Why'd the chicken cross the road? Well, it tried to get to the other side. We don't know what my dog is. It's definitely part Yorkie. They said it was Chihuahua Yorkie, but nobody really knows. And here's what the problem is. I sent it to one of those DNA companies, and they said, "Well, let us know what you think it is first." And I'm like, "No, no. You should be able to figure out what it is after I send you the DNA, right?" Not when, like, I give you a hint and then miraculously it comes back close. I don't even think those guys had a clue what they were doing over there. I'm going to go find one of the good ones and send it in. You're afraid for the calendar? What do you mean? Its days are numbered. Oh boy. Oh boy. Here it is. Here's Daniel's joke. I'm afraid for the calendar. Why? Its days are numbered. All right, what else? What else you guys got? Come on, everybody. What else you got? Any good ones? Jack and Jill went up the hill, each with $1.25. Jill came down with $2.50. Ooh! Because it's too far to walk. Where I live, there are a lot of huskies. Seem like every dog has a large handkerchief. Huskies are related to Pomeranians. Yeah, I remember, but you always say the shitty ones, Billy Boy Blue. But those jokes are actually from Andrew Dice Clay, not Billy Boy Blue. But yeah, I was thinking, every time I say those jokes, I think of that idiot, Billy Boy Blue. I mean, that guy never gave a shit about any case that we were talking about. It was just always him trying to, like, pick up on girls in the chat. It was weird. What does when you... And I think Kubi was one of, like, people he was, like, too like, bugging the hell out of you, wasn't he? What does when you give it water? What does when you give it water, but lives when you feed it? Huh? What does something when you give it water, but lives when you feed it? What dies, probably. Yeah, what dies when you give it water, but lives when you feed it? Let's see. I don't know. What's the answer? Yeah, I kind of figured it out again after I read it. Well, that's probably the answer. Yeah. That was the answer. Yeah, I have this whole book on riddles. This little square one, coffee table type. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I could try my old joke again, but whenever I do it, I get too frustrated because people type in instead of doing what I'm telling you to do. You know, so I wish I could freeze the chat. Me? I mean, who doesn't get crappy jokes? Me. Yes, there it is. I admit it. I'm the guy with the visor who doesn't get crappy jokes. I'm trying, though. I'm working hard. I gotta just go, ha ha ha! Oh, there's a loose connection, but boy. Alright. So let's see. Okay, here we go, everybody. Do this on a piece of paper, okay? So take one of the freak notebooks that you got and do this on a piece of paper and don't type in anything, okay? If you type something in, I'm not going to continue the joke. Is that good? Is that cool, everybody? Anybody? Yeah, there was no connection, Tony Lee, at all. I mean, it was just... You guys ready? Yeah, and if you've done this one, don't do it. So don't spoil it for everybody else. Yeah, it was the math one. It's so simple, though. All right. So here we go, everybody. Pick a number between 1 and 9. If it gets typed in, I'm not going to continue any of the jokes. If anybody just even thinks they're cute and funny, typing in a number, we're not going to continue. We'll try it another day. All right, so pick a number between 1 and 9. Now multiply that number times 9, right? Okay, you got it? Write it down. Multiply the number times 9. Okay, now add the two numbers remaining together. Like if you had 68, you add the 6 and the 8 together, and you would get 14, right? So add those two together. Right? You got it? Awesome. Now subtract 5 from it. All right, now pick the corresponding letter of the alphabet. A being 1, B 2, etc., right? Okay, awesome. Now come up with a country that starts with that letter. All right? Awesome. Now take the last letter in the country and come up with an animal. All right, you're all there? Now just remember, everybody, there are no orange kangaroos in Denmark. All right? I think I missed part of the joke. Oh, shit. I was going to say, now take the last letter in the... the part I had missed was you got to take the last letter of the animal, which would have been kangaroo. You would have said orange, and then I would say the last... there's no orange kangaroos in Denmark. But I bet you all had Denmark and kangaroos, right? Most of you? Put a 1 if you had Denmark and kangaroos. Yeah, the last part of the joke I forgot. Until right at the end. I remembered the punchline, but I forgot that part. See, isn't that crazy, though, Ashley Snow? How did I know that you had kangaroos? Yeah, some people say koala because they want to be an outlier. You know, they always do that. Oh, I thought a koala, Gray. Yeah, and then I have to go, well, it's either no aqua... There's no aqua koalas in Denmark. Well, I didn't think of Denmark. I thought of Dubai, Gray. Gee. Yeah, anyways, I forgot the part of the joke at the very end where you're supposed to say, okay, corresponding letter, country. Everybody's going to say Denmark. Then you say, what's the last letter in the country? Come up with an animal. Now take the last letter in the animal and come up with a color, and there's really only orange, but you might go, oh, I was going to say olive green, Gray. So there's no olive koalas in Afghanistan. So anyways, you should write that one down. It's pretty cool, though. Yeah, it's one of those ones that's just based on the percentage of what people say, right? So if I had said the last letter in the animal, you would have said orange, right, Ashy Snow? Because it's an O. Most people just immediately go, orange, okay, yeah. So it's kind of a cool trick, but and thank you guys for not typing anything in. I was so shocked, it threw me off, and I blew the end of the joke. I just kept waiting for somebody to type something in. Hey, Chloe. What's going on? Yep. Did you get that too? Yeah, so I'll tell you what it is so you can remember it. So you pick a number between 1 and 9, right? And so the thing is, let's say you pick an 8. Well, you multiply that times 9, it's 72. Every single combination times 9 is a number that when you add them together equals 9. It's crazy, right? So it's going to be like, oh yeah, pick a number between 1 and 9. Okay, I'll pick 3. Now multiply that number times 9. 27. Add the 2 and the 7 together, it's a 9. Subtract 5, it's always a 4. If people are doing the math correctly, it's always a 4 every single time. So that means they're forced to pick a country that starts with a D, and then just based on the averages, that's going to be Denmark, because that's what pops into most people's heads right away. And then an animal starts with K. Almost everybody says kangaroo, unless you're trying to impress somebody. And then the last letter in the animal is would be an O, which would, everybody says orange as well. So like 90% of people, if they do it all right, say at the very end you could say, well, just remember there's no orange kangaroos in Denmark, and people are left going, how the hell did you know that? I did it all in my head. It's a good one. It's a good one. Yeah, you weren't going to say aqua, Eugenie. Yeah. And the thing is, that the only color would be aqua, because you would say, you would be one of the few people that didn't do it the natural way. Yeah, if it's an A, people say aqua, right? That's what I set up above. Because it'd be a koala, and then you'd say A. So sometimes for fun, I'll say, well, I'll throw out the other examples, I'll go. Or it won't be a aqua koala in, what was it? Denmark still. There's no aqua koalas in Denmark. Now, some people say Dubai, then you're all messed up, because then it's, let's see, Dubai, and then you pick a color that starts, so it would be aqua again, I guess. So, doesn't Dubai end with an A? Or is it AI at the end? I can't remember. So it'd be I, right? Indigo. Why are you proud that you got to hear it? I don't get it. Yeah. But that's not how the joke works, though. It wouldn't be iguana. It would be, you'd still have to have an animal that starts with a D. Or, no, it's a country that starts with, so it would be Dubai. Wait, hold on a second. Denmark? Oh, iguana. Oh, I see. I get what you're saying. You got me confused there. Yeah, there's no aqua iguanas in Dubai. Would you have really said iguana? Was that what most people would say with an I, you think? Yeah, you guys are so sleuthy, man. Jeez, just bashing the joke into oblivion. It's not even a joke. It's just it's a trick. But just think, that's how a lot of those guys do those types of things, is based on pure averages. The guys that go, is there somebody with a J at a gym? And at a gym! And then somebody goes, oh yeah. Like, have you guys ever seen, I've brought it up before, but on the show Trailer House Boys, the gym trick. Like, they got pulled over by a cop, and then Ricky comes up to the cop and says, do you know a Jim, or does a Jim know you? Oh yeah, you look familiar. Do you know a Jim, or does a Jim know you? And the cop said, oh, you mean Jim like my dad? And he goes, yeah, he and my father, they were, and he got out of getting this ticket. It was just ridiculous. Yeah, everybody knows a Jim, okay? The Jim trick. Yeah, Dubai is a country, yeah. What do you mean? What do you mean it's not a country? What is it? Really? I thought it was a... Hold on. Maybe it's not. I don't know why the thing feels like that. Oh, it's a EAU. Well, you think of it like that, but it's in the EAU. That's so funny because I have a guy that was in the military who said that as the answer. Yeah, so I guess it's just a city. It's in a city in the United Arab Emirates. So who's in the United Arab Emirates, anyways? Or is that what it is? I mean, that's the country. Yeah, I was going to try to do day 4 of the Jodi Arias tomorrow. Well, thanks. I learned something new. My military friend that fought over there in the Gulf, he said that's what his answer was. So I was like, what? I mean, now I'm like, what? What the hell are you talking about? You weren't, KK. Originally, when I said it, you thought of Denmark. Okay. But I know now you're going, wait, let me think. Ooh, there's one. I know how it works. I get it. No, you can't, American lady. There you go. American lady gets a boom. You got yours perfectly? What do you mean? Yeah, that's one, but it is one that other people, once you say it, they quickly think of another. Oh, D. Oh, yeah, but I was thinking of this one. No, you wouldn't have EI rule. I know you wouldn't have. I don't have a joke. I'm just funny, you know. Like I don't need to have a joke. Like, hey, a guy named Jim walked into the bar and he said, yeah. I'm going for lunch talk later. Where the hell do you live? Where would it be lunch right now? Let's see. 9. I guess you have breakfast if you're in the UK, right? Yeah, I don't think that's LM. I gotta hide her. I'm gonna have to put her. I'm gonna block her from the channel. I don't think that's the real LM there. Who just spends time trolling now. Let's see, 6 a.m. in the UK and France. Yeah, but where would it be lunchtime? Look what? Look what? Your emoji is green? It's always been green. Dominican Republic is a island sovereign state. Yeah, I'm gonna block this LM up here. Sorry. Well, that's too bad. She's just here trolling now. Can't do that. Can't have that around. Let's see. Yeah, maybe it's nah. Well, Australia, it's like 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or 4, right? So that wouldn't be really lunchtime. Nah, who cares? Jeez. She always comes here and trashes everything, and then when you call her out on it, it turns into a shit show, and then she goes and whines and complains to everybody else. So yeah, I'm not gonna let it happen again. She doesn't respond to an email if you send it to her, so forget it. I could smell a little bit today. I put a. So when you guys switch that date, do you guys get within 5 hours? So maybe lunch is. At 2 p.m. you could have lunch, I would think. It's usually 5 hours, but I bet when you do daylight savings and then we go the other way, it's 2 more hours. That's probably why you're never awake when I'm doing. Oh, now it makes sense. When we're doing the Letitia Stout trial, you probably, when you first comment in there, is right when you wake up, because that would be like, let's see, 6 hours ago, it would be 8 in the morning, right? And that would be 3 o'clock here, 4 o'clock Letitia time. So 7 o'clock in the morning. Huh, yeah, interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I liked LM too, but she just would always come in and just absolutely just say the most horrific stuff towards the channel and people, and just like, wow. Now everybody forgets that part, but they're the ones that send me messages all the time, bitching and complaining about her. But now they're like, oh, wow, I missed, give me a break, okay? I gave her like 1,000 chances in here, and, if she wants to apologize and come back at some point, yeah, sure, great. But I'm not going to do it again. It just adds too much crap to the shit that goes on. Yeah, well, that's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, right? I mean 3 here. So 8 in the morning your time is 3 our time, which is 4 o'clock in the Letitia trial. Man, I thought you were more close. I think it's weird too, because when we go the other direction, fall back, you're actually going forward an hour. So that means it goes from 7 to 5 for 6 months. So it seems like, let's see, spring forward. So we've already done our spring forward, right? Or has that not happened yet? Yeah, we just did that a couple weeks ago. But you went fall back, so that's why there's 2 hours. Now when we get to fall, our October, but still your October, but it's like your summer there, then we'll be going back an hour, and then you'll be going forward an hour, and then the difference is 5. Right. Yeah, so that's what it is. We actually get 2 more hours closer in the fall, because it's a double whammy. It goes completely backwards. You're not just removing, like you're not going forward or whatever. You're going back forward, and we're going back in October-ish, maybe September. I'm not sure exactly when it is. And then it's a 2-hour shift. That makes sense? Because you're opposite. You are spring back, fall forward. Because you're on a different hemisphere. Mm-hmm. Hey, look at that. We've got Frazzled Cat ordered a notebook. Except that's going... Oh, well, it does go... It's in the United States. I was thinking that you were somewhere else. Thank you. You'll be in the next batch. God, I don't even have any like jokes, I just go on the fly, right? Like I don't actually have. I mean, sometimes when I go on my little riff type things, it's sort of like a joke, but it's more like how a comedian does it, where it's just sort of a story, and then one thing builds on the other one, and it just keeps going. I don't have the one-liner jokes. One of you guys type them in. Let's see if they're funny. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, improv. Yeah. Yeah, my friend, the comedian, he's always said that I'm funny. Like, he's an actual professional comedian on cruise ships. He's hilarious. His name is, wait, what is it? Troy Thirdgill. I was reading that comment there. Troy Thirdgill. Let's see. Let me see if I can. Where's that crap? He said I could play it. Oh, is this the one right here?
All that my neighbors are old.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to play this one, all right? He said I could play one of these. So he lives in Florida now. He used to live right next to me. We actually had a videography company together. I filmed him and made a full DVD for him way back. It was called It's Time to Do Laundry. You know, that was the name of it back then. And but anyways, here he is right here. Troy Thirdgill, and here's the jokes.
Best place to move for old people. Neighbors are old. Best place to move for old people. This the best. Quiet, peaceful. Old people are just nosy, and that's it. Nosy as hell. Every time I open my front door, 18 eyeballs through blinds.
Yeah.
Bet you he's going to the Winn-Dixie.
Yeah, this guy's hilarious.
They call me young fella when they want something moved. Now, a younger name they call you, the heavier the object is. Good morning, slugger. That's a fridge at least.
Oh, yeah. This guy, he's one of the best.
But I've got to learn so much about love. I made so many mistakes in my first marriage that a lot of my neighbors have been married like you 30 years, 40, 50 years. My next door neighbor been married 63 years. So when I see people being all coochie coochie coo, that's how I thought love was, how you talked. Especially like in movies. I love you, Sarah. And I adore you, Charles. I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna have to kiss you. Be crazy, Charles. Be crazy. I've heard true love, because they've been married 63 years. You wanna hear what it sounds like? Did you grab the water?
Yeah.
Huh? I said, did you grab the water when we were over there by the water? You see? I'll go grab it now. It's not about the water, goddammit. The point is you don't listen to me when I talk to you.
Yeah, let's see, what else is there?
Good looking in a single man, especially when they shut down everything. I know people always go, hey, you're really single? How can you be single?
It's pretty quiet. Let me see if this one.
I used to live on the other side of Florida. I lived over on the Miami side, but I prefer this side, don't you? Yes. So much better. And being a single man, I did some research. I live on this side now because I read I had a 68%.
He's not actually single, but that makes the jokes funnier.
Higher chance that if I met a woman, she'd be female. So I moved.
Here it is.
Yes.
Let's do it again. Let's do it.
So much better. And being a single man, I did some research. I live on this side now because I read I had a 68% higher chance that if I met a woman, she'd be female. So I moved. Oh, just laugh. Stop with that woke shit. Okay, no, that's for the kids. I hate when older people do it. Come on, stop. We used to just laugh or not. Okay, this.
So you can tell why we're buddies. We actually think so similarly like that, right? That's exactly the same shit.
Ooh. You could say, and you guys know, I'm glad they have an open bar now. Just kind of say, just freedom. If you don't like the joke, that's it. Just don't laugh.
Right, you don't like my show, don't watch.
I'm telling you, you guys could see, I could show you comment. You could say any joke now. Hey guys, why the chickens cross the road? I don't eat meat, you son of a bitch. Maybe they cross the road because they're oppressed.
Isn't that funny? I just used a chicken with cross the road myself.
I had a lady want to talk to me about chickens after the show. I did a chicken joke. I don't know what I did. She wanted to talk to me. I was like, you know what? This is your crusade, not mine, sweetheart. I got a mortgage. I can't worry about chickens. They're slow, they can't fly, and they're tasty. That's a bad combination. Wokeness has made my circle of friends so small. I don't hang out with people that, oh, I'm triggered. And all that. They talk like that's a microaggression. I don't hang out. You're done. I hang out with real people that talk real things. I don't even white and woke people. You ever have somebody woke come to your party? They ruin everything. Woke people do for fun what COVID did for bingo night and pickleball. I used to enjoy hanging out with people after the show. Now wokeness has killed that. You always want to feel sorry for you. Show you how much of a pro-African American they are. Just leave me alone. Don't do that. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't need a puppet. Oh my God, you're the African American. I bet being an African American comedian, it must be a struggle to have to deal. Shut up. I'm the wrong African American for that. I'd rather sit at the bar with a racist. He'll leave me alone. That's all right. I'm looking over here. You guys don't like it. That's all right. They kind of look like a jury, don't they? Look at them.
Yeah, anyway. So he's awesome. We did this thing. It's somewhere out there. I don't know if it's on my YouTube channel or somewhere, but like we were actually at this improv thing, like one of those the night where they go to these bars and they practice. His name is Troy Thirdgill. He does cruise ships in the Florida area. At least he used to do that. I don't know. There must have been a while there where he was having to do something else because it wasn't like cruise ships were. I think in Florida though they were still active during a lot of the COVID times. So they did open mic, and I would go in there and I'd film him do it so he could see, the practice and see how it went. Let me see if I can find this old video somewhere. Let me see if I can. Let me just go on my channel and look for it. It seems like that was on there from a long time ago. Let's see, videos. I think it's way back. This is going to be probably at the very farthest back I could possibly go on my channel. Let me see. I'm just going way back. A lot of Kanika videos. It was funny. We were at this place and he goes, I met Gray and he was unsure. And I don't know, it was just funny the way he said it. Yeah, I don't see it for some reason in here. Oh, I wonder if it's you can't see him unless you're. Yeah, that's right. You can't see him unless you go to your. You have to see your own content. So let me go all the way to the bottom, because some of them are hidden. Let me go all the way to the end here. You guys want me to look for this? I don't have to. It's pretty cool, though. I think you guys would think it was funny. Might take a minute. Maybe I should get him to come on the show sometime. I've talked to him about it. Just do like some other night. Laughter, something else. Yeah, somebody that's actually funny, you know what I mean? Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on here that you guys never seen. Like, look at these things that I made a long time ago. Watch. Look at this. Yeah, is that going to play? Look at How does it align with the overarching strategy? I made these videos for these presentations these guys were doing. Like it was an interrogation or something. It was pretty funny. Yeah, I have a ton of these animated videos that I made. Yeah, I gotta go check those out sometime. Forgot all about them. Yeah, just looking for them right now. Don't worry. Ah, there it is. 2000. I guess I uploaded 2015, which is 8 years ago. So this is one of the people here.
You behind the scenes.
So there he is. See, this is way back then. That's me talking.
So what made you get into comedy in the first place?
I couldn't do anything else. I failed at absolutely everything. My presidential run in '88 just collapsed.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Especially for America.
No. You could have been the first black president.
That's why I lost?
Yeah. No, it really is. Damn it. So what was the day what happened the first day that you realized, I'm going to be a comedian? Did you actually go to an open mic one time, or?
No, I was, it all started in high school. I was unsure, and I just really didn't know what was going on, and I bumped into a associate of mine, Gray Hughes, and he said, "Kid, you can do whatever you want in life." That's what did it. That's what did it.
Hey.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
So you, how long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
14 years. I've been doing stand-up comedy 14 years.
He didn't like my
years,
questions.
Yeah, 14 years.
And
It's a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, you still do open mics, huh?
Still do
See, he didn't like what I just kept saying. 14 years.
open mics. You have to. I see a lot of comics out there who always do the same jokes. They've been doing the same jokes for 14 years. I can't do that. Nah, that's not what I told him. You know what I told him? I said there's 2 reasons never ever to do drugs. Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown. Yeah! Every little step I take will be. Yo, Bobby got arrested in a restaurant last time. I just picture him and Whitney there. She's all high, playing with the sugar. Look, Bobby, it's snowing. Bobby, have you been sleeping with other women? Sleep? No. Know how to hunt. There's food out there if you're hungry enough. All you gotta do is find it. All those ducks in the park, how come nobody ever eats them? I'm not joking right now. Really think about it for a minute. How much you pay for duck at these Chinese restaurants? Like $15 or $20, right? It's free in the park. And they're not hard to catch. They'll come right up to you. If I was hungry, that African heritage would come out, be in the park tomorrow. Shut that down. It's what I love about stand-up comedy is the only job where the prerequisite is not growing up. You got to tap into that, I know it sounds cliche, but that inner child, I mean, we never really had to grow up, ever. I've never had to change my way of life from high school, except for mortgages and stuff like that now, but kids, divorces. But other than that, it's the same thing, you know? Speaking of stereotypes, we're going to do some...
Hand bone.
Give it away, brother. Give it away.
These guys are so awesome.
We'll do a rendition of Mammy later.
No, I do. Why do you iron it out at the open mic and not at the professional club?
Well, you're being paid at the professional club, so
This
there's
guy's
a
funny,
little
too.
bit of it. And you do iron out material at the professional shows, but no booking agents are to know that, so you don't let them see this part. But what's that? Oh yeah, you iron it out at the open mic. It's the only place that you can fail miserably. You try 2 or 3 things, some that you are pretty sure are going to fail.
This is like a documentary, man.
just
It's pretty
to see if
sweet, isn't
perhaps
it?
you're wrong. And you don't want to do that when your reputation's on the line.
Is there any joke tonight that you can't wait to see how the audience is going to react?
I'm really happy with one of them, and I'm really nervous about the credit cards and the Spanish
And then we get to hear
one.
those jokes by this
I'm
guy.
nervous about.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what.
And there's a brand new one I'm not nervous about, but maybe I should.
On the back of everybody's Visa card, look at the back of your credit cards, there's a number to call if that card is lost or stolen. Mathematically, isn't this the worst place in the universe to have this number? And I know you're saying, oh, you're supposed to write it down and hide it in a fireproof box. But nobody even has the fireproof boxes. It goes like this. Yeah, you can have my wallet, but can we stop at Kinko's first? That's the way it works out. The Levitra commercials warn you that if you have an erection that lasts more than 4 hours, you should call a doctor. Yeah, I'll be calling my doctor, but there's 3 or 4 other numbers I'm going to be calling first. Anybody here speaks Spanish? Okay, good. Okay, El Gordo, that is the fat one, or the fat man, because it's Gordo. And if it was going to be a fat woman, it would be Gorda. So far, so good. And if you're going to say little fat girl, that would be Gordita. Taco Bell is selling little fat girls. Crunchy little fat girls with cheese. I'll leave you with that thought. Good night.
When you're being paid, you want to do the stuff you're sure of. Sort of a Calvinistic work ethic of giving them their money's worth. So yeah, it's going to be nothing new, stuff that used to be new, stuff that used to be creative, but now is.
I thought you actually ironed out some of your new material on the actual show nights. You know, when you're actually featuring.
You're right. Sometimes you do. I admitted to that. I told you to edit it. And I saw the Russians here, and I realized you didn't.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
balls if anybody sees
of
it.
course, you're the best judge of your own material, but I thought some of that was Class A material.
It was difficult to tell from the audience because there were only 6 participating audience members. I mean, you knew that. You had even less by the time you got out.
Yeah. So you're excited about going on a little earlier tonight, huh?
Yeah, I am.
Fred Meyer has signs up saying no detected pesticide residue. Anybody bothered by that little caveat, detected in there, don't detected? They don't say what their methods of detection are at that point. What do they do, fly over the crops? I don't see anything. Put up the sign! Plus, if a woman told you she had no detected gonorrhea, would you go ahead and do her? Well, of course you would, you're a guy, but you'd wear 6 rubbers, and that's my point. Get these offers in the mail for a free gift. Oh boy, a free gift. We're gonna get a free gift. Gifts are always free. That's what makes them gifts. You don't say happy birthday, here's a sweater, that'll be $40. No!
Anyways, that's pretty good. Yeah, you know what's cool about that? It'd be neat if that was like an hour. I thought I did that pretty good, like a documentary. You know, it was pretty sweet. See how like Zozo didn't think anything was funny in any of that. So isn't that amazing? See, that's what I'm saying, is hers is the humor that's a little off, where everybody else was laughing. You get it? All right. And that's why we get the I was in Hawaii for the wedding comment when it didn't make sense to the rest of it. All right. Anyways, I hope you guys thought that was funny, and we're gonna go and do the. Yes, KK, you thought it was funny too. You're not making buddies by saying it wasn't funny. Yeah, it's a joke, Zozo. See, you're one of the people that they worry about, the cancel people that can't, like, wow, oh my God, crunchy little fat girls, oh my God, it was so serious, ooh, God, ooh. It's a joke. He was technically going over what gordita, gordito, and gordita, and he was saying, wow, that's what they're saying it means. That's what the joke was. Yeah. Wow. No, nobody's hanging shit on you. I'm going after you. You thought the joke was funny. You're funny, and I didn't think it was funny. I'm just being honest, just like you are. And then you seemed like every joke that was told here you didn't think was funny, when there was a lot of funny jokes in there. Like, it was actually pretty good. I mean, didn't you think so? Hey, look at that. Is that the real? Yeah, it must be the real Dennis Stewart, because he's blue. How's it going? You used to have a red circle on there, though. It used to be like red. Let's see. Let's be honest. Your feelings are. What do you mean? That didn't hurt my. What hurt my feelings? How, Cindy? What the fuck? I mean, you say the most ludicrous shit in the world. I have no idea what you're referring to. Yeah, like, he was funny, right? And he went on later and he was funny again. That was the same friend in the second video, KK. Right? Hey, Cindy, you ever just thought of, like, you just keep your own thoughts to yourself because they're never accurate? You should try that sometime. Yeah, try it sometime, Cindy. You should give it a shot. It'd be hilarious. Really, what made it the best show ever? 54 Woods Girl. I'm just going with what people are saying in here. Not you, Cindy Leon. The other one. Yeah. I mean, there's never a show where she doesn't have something to say at trying to analyze everything. Ooh, is that Graves' dog barking? Is there somebody at his door? Is there like a... It's wild. Wild stuff. Yeah, I think it would be cool. Maybe I'll have him come on sometime. We'll have to tell him to tell more PC jokes because everybody's so concerned about him, and, you know. Let's see. Split shift. Hey, see you later, Sarita. Win the wheel. Probably won't win the... Well, let me spin the wheel right now. How about that? Because of Quietly Frozen, we made it to a spot where we can do a spin. Other than that, I would have been, you know, there's a lot of people helping out, but it wouldn't have made it. So let's see. Let me get to the wheel. Wait, there it is. All right, here we go. Oh, it just blew by that one. Look at that, a blank slate wins the notebook. There you go, a blank slate. Thank you. But it went just past yours, Sarita. Almost got it. Oh, come on. It was a little bit of a joke. Well, what it was is, I'll tell you what it was, Mark. I said that, I sent a notebook to Zozo like this last year, and it seemed like 45 days to get there. And it stopped in Hawaii at one point, and then by ship it got sent to Australia. And then she said, I went to Lori and Chad's wedding in Hawaii. It didn't seem to, like, to me, it was like, well, what do you mean? The notebook was still moving on a ship somewhere. So that was the joke. Everyone thought it was funny. I was just making fun of it, that I didn't think it was very funny. Yeah, let's see. Hey! You're a tough gal. What are you talking about, Cindy? Nah, but Cindy, you're not around enough to all the shows to see what I have to deal with in her comments. Okay, just letting you know. No, that's not what she said, Cindy. You missed it again. Let's see. No, Cindy. That wouldn't even make sense either, because it was 2 years before the wedding was that I shipped it. You see what I'm saying, Cindy? You're off a lot of times on stuff that you're saying. It's just, I don't know. Well, maybe one of these days we'll figure it out. But thank you to, let me get back to this. Yeah, we know it's a joke, Cindy. But does a joke have to be funny to everybody? Just like these jokes were just told and people didn't laugh at them. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm trying to find the control panel here. Where is it? Oh yeah. I think I was already on the right one here. All right. So thank you to Annabelle Stealth, Annie laid her hair down D, Danielle, Caligal 3, Jim Lon, Caligal 3, Sleuth and Sandals, Daniel Burrell, A Blank Slate, Danielle, Sleuth and Sandals, Lisa Valenzuela, Ashy Snow, Eugenie, Lisa Taylor, and then Quietly Frozen, the coolest name in YouTube history. You must be on Rewind or something, Cindy. We just said who won. It was A Blank Slate. Quietly Frozen with a 6 times cat eye there. American Lady, Dan Hodemaker, Billy Juliana, American Lady, Quietly Frozen, WNC Granny, Eugenie, Renee H., Tawny Lee, Sarita, Snarky Cinderella, Danielle, American Lady, and right at the end, Cindy J. But you got it to get on the spin. You have to do $5 or more, then you get on the spin. So that's how it works. Yep. Well, Cindy will be doing the Jodi Arias trial tomorrow at day 4. For those of you who are interested, we've been watching the opening arguments, day 1, 2, 3. Then the 4th day tomorrow, I'll bring it over there. Huh? I don't know what you're saying. Whose birthday is it? I don't see her here. Yeah, well, I hope you guys found some of this stuff interesting. Maybe not the Daybell, Ian Pawlowski stuff, but I thought it was interesting because that was the key information that was received early on in the investigation that pointed to something way more sinister going on in terms of their belief system. You guys keep saying happy birthday to Blank Slate, but she's not sitting in here. I don't see her. So how come you're saying that if she's not even here? Okay, well, no, you guys should have told me it was her birthday before. But I'll let her know on Facebook that she won the notebook. That's a great birthday prize, isn't it? Maybe she replay crew. Ten out of 187 people think I'm cool. How do you know what the number is, Terry? I bet more people think that. Yeah, well, you guys got to put, when somebody's birthday, especially like a mod, you should type in, look at. It's her birthday. You know, make sure I know, you know. Where'd you do the survey at? I didn't see one. Yeah. Well, how do you guys do a survey? I can't. You guys can't do a survey. You mean like Danielle made a survey and put it in the chat, or what? I don't get it. I'm confused. I don't want people doing that. You know, taking people off the show to do something unrelated to it. Oh, the one. Well, that's not really a survey then. That's just sort of like typing in a 1. Right. Well, that means that when you did the poll, the other 170 didn't see it, Terry. That just means 10 people typed in the 1 because they read it. Right? You guys are... Is the moon full tonight? It has to be. This is like the craziest thing I've ever seen. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely tell my friend he's got to work on the jokes. You know. I'm kidding. Yeah, I think he's hilarious. Every time I watch him, I just laugh the whole time. His humor is exactly what I like. That type. Man, I'm like that all the time, EI Rule. Haven't you noticed? You probably don't watch a lot of the shows, like during the day or anything like that. She said, "Are you ever just silly, Gray?" Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm always serious, right, Cindy J, on the show with the whole 8-hour show in the daytime? Yep, I'm just a bag of seriousness. Hey, Dennis, when are you sending me the file? Well, then why would she say that, though, Cindy? Why would she say, "Are you ever just silly, Gray?" if you watched my show? Okay. Does that make any sense? Yeah. Well, at least one person gets my jokes. Veronica Lynn. They're not really jokes, though. It's just me, just talking about stuff, whatever time you can't be there, Cindy. I'm just kidding. Maybe it'll be like 10 o'clock my time. Something like that. Well, good. Quietly Frozen. The coolest name in YouTube history. Whoa! Whoa, everybody! What's the whoa for, Melanie? What happened in chat that was the whoa? Oh, wow! That's unreal! Wow! All right, that's my dry humor, right? EI Rule. Haven't you noticed that? When I do the voices of the mind of the judge or whatever, or things like that, that's dry humor, right? It's just, dry humor is more like sarcastically saying something that everybody would get. Like I typed in the chat during the Letitia, and I go, you know what? I think I've changed my mind, everybody. I think I'm starting to believe these multiple personalities. What about you? You know, and not one person said, really, Gray? They all got it. I like that. Hey, Melanie, you're still here. What was the whoa when you came in for? You got 10 seconds. All right. But it's different from silly. Yeah, but I'm like that too. I mean, type of 1 if you've seen me silly in here before. I mean, isn't that just kind of the whole Mary Lou situation and the raps and... we have tons and tons of shows where I'm like that. But this is a true crime channel also. It's not a comedy hour thing. But, you know, the other night we did a show where we just talked and rambled on for hours. Yeah, I'm gonna go block that person up there, the whoa person. Yeah, not interested. Yeah, no, I'm never disrespectful to the victims with my humor. My humor is always about like either the criminal themselves or like a, you know, just some random aspect of a case or something. Right? Yeah, that judge, he was pissed off. I love it when he said, stop. I wish I had it on his face, but he never knew that that's what he was going to say, but he got so angry that one time. Yeah, there's just people don't really watch the show as much as they say they do, Gen H. So there's people like you and others that we're here all the time. We've been here for years, and you guys watch it every second of every show, most of the time for a long time. And so you got people that watch, they show up for an hour or 10 minutes here and there, and then all of a sudden they're experts on the channel, you know. They walk by, oh, did you hear how mean Gray was? They didn't hear the other 3 hours. Yeah, what was the deal with that? Apparently there must have been somebody that he even warned about smoking, and they did it again. And then this stupid, oh wait, sorry, I don't want to, well, I'm going to use stupid because she is. The defense witness, you know, every single time she was late to being in the courthouse ready to go. Every single time. And the judge even had to say, almost passive-aggressively, in front of everybody, hey, you know, we need to make sure that you're here. I don't even remember what it was. It was just brutal, though. What a horrible day. Mm-hmm. Yeah, were people smoking pot down there? Well, how could you not be frustrated with her? She was just awful. And really an embarrassment to the entire field, to be honest with you. I've never seen anything quite like it. I said today it set back the field of the interest in psychology decades. I mean, for people who watch that, their interest in psychology just dwindled to almost nothing. It's unreal. It makes you just question anything. You know, everybody knows there's people that have mental, issues and things like that, real things out there, you know. But this whole DID thing, multiple personality, I think it's totally bogus. I don't think there's any credibility to it at all. Anybody can come up with any kind of story they want and pretend to be somebody. You just have to get somebody willing to believe it. And people want to be one of the ones that gotta be with the true multiple personality disorder people. So they can sit around at their parties and go, hey, Billy came out. He was like, Greg, what are you doing, Greg? I mean, wasn't that part ridiculous? Does that mean she has a separate personality herself? It's amazing. Somebody needs to diagnose her. And today, what I got just from the little you could actually hear, it seems like she was trying to ask questions to give Letitia knowledge of what to say and stuff, and how to be. Yeah, I would agree with that, Amber. Here's what I think. I think that the diagnosis of DID in criminal cases jumps dramatically when you have a paid defense expert. It's amazing how money creates that diagnosis way more often. Strange. Yep. All right, you guys. Anyways, that's going to do it. If the joke really was that the notebook got stuck in Hawaii, it's a little funnier for the wedding. That's not how I read it. I thought it read, I was in Hawaii for the wedding. Maybe it said it was. And if I missed that, then hell, you know what? There was a little bit more humor value there. Let's see. I just diagnosed Dr. Dorothy. Except the only problem is the wedding. That's why I need the time travel. Because the wedding was 3 years before I sent it. Yeah. Anyways, thank you guys very much for being here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow. And, as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. Hey, we got through some of those stories.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person that is a crime dissector, plug rejector.
I'm a certified human lie detector.
Gonna get ya on a stretcher.
If you try and play me like an old projector.
Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Great.
Good night, quietly frozen. Good night, KK. Good night, Jan H. Good night, Zozo. Good night, Cindy William. Good night, Jessica Schubach. Good night, Dorianne. Good night, Amber Maiden. Good night, Linky Tor. Good night, Janet H. Good night, Veronica Lynn. Good night.
All respect, y'all.
Would you shut the hell up, man? Let the rap play.
I want to say good night to people, Frank.
And I'll serve it to you straight without the blender.
Good night, Moonfies.
I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the
good night.
Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work. All right, everybody?
Good night, everybody. Gee. Hey, thanks, Lanky Tor.
Yeah, I was going to say thanks myself, Mary Lou. You know, you just do your goodnight G crap.
Well, I wanted to say thanks too, Greg Guy.
Okay, well, thanks for saying thanks. Thanks, Lanky Tor. Man, these... Mary Lou, I tell you. All right, anyways, we'll see you guys later, all right?
Good night, everybody. I don't like you, Greg. You're not very nice.
That's what they say, Mary Lou. That's what they say.
But they're true. They're true.
What do you mean they're true? You mean they're correct?
I don't say correct because you don't like correct.
Well, who cares what I like? You can say it if you want to.
Okay, I'll start saying correct every single day. Correct. 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 Correct.
Oh my God, that is ridiculous. All right, anyways, we'll see you later, everybody. And until next time, be safe out there.
Be safe out there.
Oh my God. You know, why don't you take tomorrow night off?
What do you mean, Gray? What do you mean take tomorrow night off? I wanna be here, Gray.
God, you really feel that bad?
Not really. Good night, everybody.
Oh, busted again, man. What a poser, what a poser. All right, we'll see you guys later. Be safe.